Tuesday from 7 to
Trash Truckin' Radio Tuesday night. We're the best night of the week, and figure out what's going on here. There we go. I don't know if it's. Oh, now we're sounding. Okay, I think it's work. It's working. It's working. It's alive. It's alive. All right, now see, it's working the way it's supposed to now. Now that the loop is off. Geez, the things I do for this show. Sometimes I wonder why. It's frustration. See, I'm losing my hair. Anyway, back with us is Doug and Ashley and myself, and we're ready to do a whole new show with hopefully no big issues.
Hopefully. You better knock on some wood over there.
There's some wood here, so now I just got to make sure that everything is working. It looks like it. All right, and all right, there we go. All right, here we go. All right. It seems to be. Do you hear it? Okay. You all right? You okay?
I'm good.
Good. And you heard the intro too, right? All right. Things are working. You want to check to make sure it's working. Make sure the stream is actually running, so that we're. I just don't even know anymore. So weird because
Said we have to check it.
We're having a good time, and if nobody else is having a good time, shame on them.
It's working, but you can't hear it.
Why not?
You can't. Can you hear it through my phone?
When you turn it up.
No, the thing is, it is.
What? They're not hearing anything?
No, they're hearing it.
They are hearing it.
And I know.
Oh, because you got it.
That can kind of lead me into my little announcement if you're okay with it, because remember I wasn't allowed to say.
Forget it. You're not going to say it.
I wasn't allowed to say it last week.
You're not going to say it now. They didn't pay us a fee. No, you can say it. I don't care.
So my announcement is that I got hearing aids.
She got hearing aids for free.
For free, yes.
And the really expensive ones. So
yes, it was part of a grand opening, and they. Was part of their the company was called Momentum Cares, but they through Momentum the company's called Momentum Hearing Aids Services, and is there something in their company called Momentum Cares. It's they're trying to give hearing aids to people that don't have health care, that can't afford them.
That's perfect.
Like me. And as part of their grand opening, they gave a pair of hearing aids away to somebody.
That's awesome.
I was that person.
And that was you were really nice and wrote them a nice letter.
Yes.
And I read the letter. It was very, very nice and very, very professional.
Yes.
And I am very happy for you because, a lot of people don't recognize that they have my hearing issue is in my right ear, and it's because I've done rock music for 40 years, and it's just it's my own fault. Mm-hmm. But I understand the hearing issue, not to the extent that you have it, but to the extent that I have it. So yeah, it's.
I knew last week I was getting them. I just wasn't allowed to say anything just yet.
I just thought it was really cool that they did that because I was looking at helping you any way I could.
And I appreciate that too.
And when you said that you already got the help, that was cool.
I'm sorry.
I wasn't. Oh no! Believe me, I wasn't insulted. And besides, I already bought you some, and I'm going to give them to you anyway because I don't have use for. I mean, I could try them for me, but I don't. My hearing loss is not that bad. Although it caused me a lot of hassles with one of my girlfriends because she. Oh man, it was horrible because she would talk to me, and if I'd miss what she'd say, I'd say, "What?" She'd go, "Oh, forget it." It's like, no, I just couldn't hear you.
And that's the way with Antoine and I. Him and I've gotten in so many arguments and fights
yeah.
because I've missed what he said.
Well,
and
now you have no excuse. Before you had an excuse.
I would recommend going to this company hands down because this lady that I dealt with, ironically, her name was Ashley, but she was very nice, professional, great lady.
That's
hands
good.
Down. Great company.
Well, I'm very happy that you can hear now.
Yeah.
So now you have...
I have a hearing problem too.
What?
I have a hearing problem too. It's called selective hearing.
Selective. I think I have that too, but it can be horrible, and I'm very happy that you're able to hear.
I mean, I believe I sent you the video of. Did I send? I know I sent it to Christine.
I was going to say I don't think you sent it to me, so that's okay. Well, where do you want to start? Here we go.
I sent you the video on Facebook.
You did?
Yes, of them giving me the hearing aids and me the speech.
Oh.
I have it right here. Did I send it to you?
See, I have an eyesight problem too. Selective eyesight.
Well, it's a memory problem.
What? I have no idea what you're talking about. Wow, that one little thing I gave her, she ran away. I guess that's good. That works. I'll give her a couple of those. That'll save me a little time. All right, so we got all kinds of stuff to talk about. I'm glad you're back with us, Doug. I'm sorry you weren't here last week because that was partially my problem, partially system issues. And the system issues it's really weird. I think I'm going to start rebooting at the beginning of every show because that seems to be, whatever the issue was, it's something I can't fix without rebooting. So I thought that was a real major issue last week because right before we started the show, people were saying there's echoing and stuff like that, and I was adjusting it, wasn't changing anything, and finally I said, I'm just going to have to reboot, and when I reboot it, boom, it was right. So I think that's going to be my next line of defense is just starting the computer up at the beginning of the show and stop. You'd think if you don't change anything, it would be perfect every week. That's not the case with electronics. It seems to be an issue with this, and it's been ongoing.
It's the gremlins.
Yeah, something. I do have a couple stories pertaining to things you've talked to in the past, and I think that'll be interesting to hear your take on it.
Oh, by the way, on Sunday, I passed your sister's house. Yeah.
Were you stalking her or what?
I was getting plates and bowls and stuff off of Facebook for free, and it just from where we were, it took us out that way. But I was in Antoine's car, and it doesn't have a horn, so when I stopped at the stop sign, I'm like, oh, there's Ann's house. Hi, Ann.
By the way, you know that's illegal, right?
Yeah.
The horn without no horn? Mm-hmm. Why does he have no horn?
So he was fixing something, and he has it connected, but it doesn't, I don't know. He's been messing with it. It'll work one time and then won't work another. So.
I could say many different things. I'm not going to say it because it's too easy. It's too easy. And I like Antoine, so I'm not going to insult Antoine. I think he's a great guy. So.
We're thinking it's like it could be a connection or something like that.
Really? Huh.
Well, at least, but he knows that. But.
I'm debating if I want to tell the next story or not, because that could get me in trouble. If I knew if she was listening or not, I would.
He's got $800 worth of parts to fix on that car too.
Oh, yeah, but all right. So I'm gonna just spill the beans. I'm gonna get in trouble. You probably won't see me next week. I'll probably be in the hospital or dead. But I got to tell this story. Maybe I shouldn't.
But now that you said something, you have to.
All right.
She'll forgive you.
I have some of these adult toys.
She'll forgive you.
I'm talking to a guy, a man of God. I mean, I don't know that I want to say it to him. I don't mind saying it to you. You're not a man of God. Anyway, so I have this toy, this adult toy, and it stopped working. And I had this other adult toy that was similar. One took batteries, and one had a rechargeable battery pack. The one with the one that took batteries, I lost, or it broke so that you couldn't use batteries in it. So it was useless. But I didn't throw it away because I was trying to figure out if I could fix it some other way, because those aren't cheap. Anyway, the other one just stopped working. I thought I had this brilliant idea.
I'm supposed to. I'm supposed to stop you. I get a text. Stop him.
It's out of the bag already. I can't. Is it from Christine? So I got. I guess this means.
Listen, I attempted.
Hey, an adult toy could be a baseball bat. For an adult baseball game. It doesn't. I'm not saying what it is. I just said. But anyway, so I took the one with the batteries that didn't take batteries, and I cut the end off. And I took the one that had the battery pack that didn't work with the unit anymore, and I cut that piece off. And I took the battery pack one, and I hooked it to the other one, and it worked.
I am dying inside.
And I just wanted to say how much of a genius I am that I was able to save it, because I hate throwing perfectly good toys away. I mean, look at Toy Story. If you threw Woody away, there would be no... That's right. So I just saved the movie. So anyway, I guess that means she's listening. That means...
I am packing the Prius now.
Anyway, I just wanted to... Oh, there. I didn't see that. I see it now.
No. I am done packing the car.
I never said it was anything. I mean, it could have been like this trackball here. That's a toy. Well, actually, that one doesn't work, though. But anyway.
So done.
Oh,
We love you, Christine.
You are so done. I guess that... Oh, well. Yeah, well.
There is no return from this.
Does this say the show goes downhill from here?
No, it can only go up from here, because it's one of those things that you got to know when to shut up, and I obviously don't know how. Anyway, okay, so next thing, I'm just going to go down the order of stuff that I have here. There's a new show. Well, I guess it's not a new show. It's called Only Murderers in the Building, and it's season 4. Now, I don't know anything about this show except that it has some people in it that I like. I can't remember who it is. Oh, it's on Hulu. Now I can't remember why I put it on there. Hold on. Got to look to see why. Because it has... what's his name? I forget his name.
There's Ann. Hi, Ann.
It's good to see.
Oh, Ann missed it, but I was by your house on Sunday, Ann. I drove by it on my way to get some other things.
Now I can't remember who's in it. Hold on. There's a reason I said that. Here it is. Steve Martin, Martin Short. They're both in this show together, and I thought that's interesting. I never thought that. I didn't realize Martin Short and Steve Martin were still acting, but they have this, and this is a season 4. So this is 4 seasons of stuff that I missed, and so I'm gonna have to check it out. So I got to figure out what this show, because I saw them on Saturday Night Live together, and they were really good. I'm watching. If you got Peacock, you can watch Saturday Night Live without the commercials, and as long as you pay for the Peacock thing, and that brings that hour-and-a-half show down to an hour. So that shows you how many commercials. Actually, less if you don't want to listen to the musical artist.
Right.
So, and most of the times I usually pass by them. All right, now. Hey, how come I'm bigger than you guys on here? I'm going to have to make myself smaller.
Because you always like to be bigger.
I don't like to be bigger.
Yes, you do.
Anyway, so, yeah, that's this show's called Only Murderers in the Building. So I'm intrigued by the name of it, too. Why would they call it that? Especially with those 2 comedians, to have it called Only Murderers. So, Yeah, judging by the chat room, I'm thinking if there's any women out there that are interested, it looks like I'm single again. All right, next story. I just thought that was interesting because I was a big Martin Short and Steve Martin fan. All right, next thing. TikTok reacts to the law that could take away the app. It was interesting because, TikTok, Xiao Zi Chu posted a video on the platform responding to the bill which President Biden signed Wednesday, saying that they have to sell, which we talked about the other week. And he says that we're not going anywhere. So I just wonder, how do they outlaw an app?
National security.
Yeah, but how do you physically outlaw an app, especially if it's not coming from your platform? If you can download it from somewhere, you can't put people in jail because they have this app.
Well, they will stop it from being stop the app from being in app stores.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's true. You could do that.
Number two, they will block
The IP.
the IP.
See, I just don't think it's as big of a deal as we're making it into. Maybe I'm stupid and don't realize this, but the only thing they're going to be able to steal from us is dances that are stupid. The good dancing isn't on there. The dancing in the adult bookstore places and stuff like that, the good dancing. Anyway, so I find it interesting that we're making a big hoopla over the whole thing. I mean, how much? I don't know. I just think it's crazy that we're all worried about that.
Well, the only thing I know, Mike, this is what I know. They had a briefing on Capitol Hill with some senators and congressmen.
Yeah.
From the Intel community. That briefing started the whole thing.
Huh. Wow.
So there must be something in national security that they're not telling us.
I don't know. By the way, this looks like a very interesting, that stupid program or that stupid site called CCTV thing that I like to show all kinds of weird things. This has a woman getting out of her car and a tiger attacking her. Where are they? They got to be in India or something, I would imagine. The tiger grabbed the woman, and I guess the tiger really wanted the woman.
Okay.
I didn't expect to see that. Nobody expects that. It's like the Spanish Inquisition. All right. Anyway, so that's the second story I had was on the TikTok thing. I thought that I still think that they're overreacting. If we have any national security issues with TikTok, I don't know.
It's with the Communist Party in China.
But
they own TikTok.
Yeah, I know. But what's the big? I don't understand it. I mean, if you give what kind of
propaganda?
Okay.
They're doing a lot of propaganda already on TikTok.
But I've not seen. I've never.
Influence the less intellectual to their way of thinking.
Well, so's Biden. I didn't say that. So's Trump. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter which one you like. I don't know. I think it's silly. TikTok is a stupid program. I'm still trying to understand why I have it on my phone because I go on there and I look at it and I'm like, I don't get it. You get your 15 seconds of fame, I guess, because some of these people are real. I've never seen a TikTok that was intelligent. It's not about intelligence. It's intelligence. That's the last thing you're going to find on TikTok is intelligence. And anybody that is on TikTok, they aren't very intelligent, and I'm including myself in that whole block of stuff. I still don't get it. I don't understand it. Maybe it's my generation or something. So, anyway, that's the second story. The third story, why is this on here? I should have done that in the other one. New York DA goes off on... Oh, okay. So the New York DA, people should realize there are cameras everywhere. You You got to be careful where you are anywhere. Oh, wow. What do we got there? Oh, that's you. Okay.
That's me just telling Anne and everybody about the hearing aids and stuff because they weren't in the chat room and stuff.
I just wanted to make sure that wasn't
No.
somebody
That was just me.
being
just
mad at
saying
me
it.
even
Just
further.
telling them again.
Because I was thinking she was packing anyway. I figured she didn't have time to type in.
No, but she's quite upset.
She is not.
She is.
She shouldn't be. They don't even know her. No one knows her. I don't even know her. She just stays here. Anyway, defiant district attorney, top New York prosecutor, verbally abuses police officer. Okay, you shouldn't do that. I mean, again, cameras are everywhere, and if you're gonna, you shouldn't be part of our law if you can't obey the law. You know, my opinion. But and she's a New York DA, so you just don't abuse our police. That's just they're doing their job. I don't know. Am I alone in that, or anyone else agree with me?
I'm in the middle of texting, sorry.
It's a very liberal DA's office
Okay.
in New York.
Okay.
And they are kind of anti-police.
Yeah, well, they should probably go to jail then. That's my opinion. But, no, wait a minute. Which side? Oh, wait. You should still. Okay, here's a story. New York District Attorney put on a jaw-dropping display of arrogance and defiance towards a police officer after she was pulled over for speeding, and the whole confrontation was captured on video. And you know it's never going to end in a good way, and you only look bad yourself, because if you are guilty of what you did, if you are guilty of that speeding, they have every right to pull you over, and you shouldn't be given a pass just because you're the DA. You know, you just take your ticket, you pay your ticket, and go. I mean, I got a ticket in New York when I parked my car wrong. I paid the ticket. I was wrong. That's it. Simple. It all started Monday. Monroe County's top prosecutor, Sandra Dooley, or Dorley, looks like Dorley, was clocked going 55 in a 35. Okay, that's 20 miles over the speed limit. They're
Not
able
terribly bad, but
still, anytime you're 20 miles over, you know, they can get you. And so Dorley drove back to her home and parked inside her garage as the officer followed her. So she I mean, it's just a freaking ticket. Just pay your ticket. It's a whole lot less hassle if you pay your ticket. The cop was confronted her turning on his body camera. Good idea. Check out the video. Oh, we might even have a video. Let's see what the video was. Let's see the video. Where's the video? Which one's the video? I don't see a video. I want to see her acting like an idiot. Oh, it's probably the thing that isn't working. Of course not. Those New Yorkers have a way of turning things off. Okay, so it says, from the get-go, Dorley gives an attitude, saying she didn't notice the officer or was trying to pull over because she was on a hands-free phone call. Dorley then calls and complains to the officer's supervisor before handing him the cell phone so he can explain himself. The DA attempts to go inside her home, but the officer orders her to stay put as he talks to his supervisor about what happened. Dorley becomes exasperated and indignant, telling the officer she knows the law better than him and just get the F out of her house. She calls him an a-hole while boasting that she's the DA of Monroe County and flashing her badge. See, that's all the wrong things. You know, it's just a ticket. Just pay the ticket. And Dorley asks him to write her the ticket because she's the one who prosecutes the offense, so we all know what that means. Dorley later released a statement admitting she went over the speed limit and was not above the law, and claiming she respects police. However, she did not directly apologize to the officer. That's because it was all on video. What kind of idiot is it that you just don't argue with the officers on video? That's the only that you're not going to win. and no one's gonna like expect her to, you know, you're not above the law. So I don't know. People like that irritate me so much because they feel like they deserve. What's this? We covered your post because it may. What did I do now? The post doesn't go with our community stand. Am I on a list now? What's going on? 'Cause we already are just what are we? We're like half an hour into the show and they've already censored me. Come on. What did I say that was censored? Censorable. Did I say something that was censorable? Why, this is covered. We covered the post according to our community standards. We use technology. Okay, it's okay to post this, but some people may choose not to see it. So what? Don't tell me about it. Just be quiet. I'm gonna disagree with the decision. You guys are targeting me now. I think I've been targeted. I think.
Great.
Oh, it says be nice, Mike. What did I be nice? Wait, what? What? Have I missed? I missed what's going on here.
About
Obey
you.
the law, Mike.
No, not that. About you being mean.
Me? I'm not mean. Everyone loves me. I've never been mean a day in my life. A couple weeks of my life, but not days. All right. So next one. This is about Disney. They're going to double down. Disney bets. Okay, how much do you... Oh, before I bring it up. Okay, how much money do you think Disney's going to put into new parks or upgrading their parks? What's that?
$500 million.
How much?
Billion.
How much do you think? Oh, well, we'll pick a number. You can't have all those numbers. Got to leave some for the rest of us. $5 billion?
I want to say 7 million. 10 million? Apparently a lot higher.
The number is...
10 billion?
Well, you're closer with that. 60 billion.
Oh, wow.
Bets 60 billion parks will power the future. 9.1 billion that Josh D'Amaro led Unit Reels is an undeniable spot in Bob Iger's empire. Now it's being pushed to do even more. $60 billion. I mean, I don't even know how high we can go. I mean, that's higher than I can count. 60 billion. Aren't
they constantly changing stuff down?
Well, yeah, but I mean that's a huge number.
I mean, it's been since I was in school since I've been down there.
I haven't been down there since I think the last time I was down there was in 2004 or so. Oh, well, that's good to see that picture. I didn't. Not the picture I
want
wanted.
to say that's probably right around where I was there.
Really? We may have even seen each other then.
I was with the band, a marching band in school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've used that line before. I'm with the band.
I really was. We marched in the Disney parade and stuff.
I marched the Miss America parade in... Well, I was like
on the way down. We
grade.
got trapped in a McDonald's for 2 hours because 2 wires fused again. Our bus broke down in South Carolina, so 2 of the wires fused together underneath the bus. So we had to wait till another bus came.
All right, I got to pick a picture. I didn't have a picture up. I thought I did. What am I going to put up? Shoot, I guess I could put this up.
Oh, I'm going out of town tomorrow.
Where are you going?
Up to Runville. Up to my sister's.
Oh, okay. All right. So anyway, they're definitely putting some big money into their parks. But I mean, you got to upgrade those parks too. You got to keep them current. You got to. I mean, I don't know what's new in Disney type things, but there's probably things that they want to upgrade, and there's a lot of maintenance in those parks too. So I'm not really sure what they're going to do. Actually, I should have read that. Why don't I read that? Let's see.
You
What are
didn't
they
say
going to
hi.
do?
Hi, Tina.
Oh, hi, Tina. Sorry. It says here, on a visit to Anaheim in April, a crowd of park goers wearing Loki horns and Ratatouille chef hats cheered as,
Ratatouille.
is it Ratatouille? Okay, Ratatouille. Yeah,
Ratatouille.
yeah, whatever it is.
Ratatouille.
Chef hats cheered as robotic Spider-Man swung through the air and slid upside down on the ground. That could be actually pretty interesting if you like robotic stuff. I'm into the tech stuff, so that would be, I'd actually like that. I'd like to go back to Disney at some point. My favorite part was like the safari. Did you ever go on the safari?
I went on the safari. I loved it.
Oh, the safari was awesome, and it always looked like somebody, like one of these animals were going to come and get you, but they had the landscape so that they couldn't come over the hills, but they were really close to you. It was really neat how they did that. So
I know we went to Epcot.
Epcot's cool too.
I know we went to Magic Kingdom. I don't remember like the Animal Kingdom or anything like that.
It was cool. It was one of my favorite things there. But then when you're going there as an older person, that's kind of the slow rides that you're going to end up watching, doing and stuff. So, all right. They said that what's it say here? The CEO's contract expires in 2026. So, I guess I got to get it done before then. It's kind of interesting though because the consumer products. Let's see here, Diamaro. Where's he at? What's he do? Chopac. Oh, there it is. It says while I'm doesn't say what he is though. What is he? Diamaro. Oh, here it is. There it is. The demand for newer franchises is unsurprising, but in an interview with the Hollywood Reporter's Josh Diamaro, chairman of the Disney Experiences, points out that even Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, a new attraction based on two of the oldest characters, is drawing big numbers. What I'm proud of is that all of our stories continue to resonate as strongly as they did, as they ever did before. I can't imagine that with all the technology, though. I would think that wouldn't do as well, you know.
Right.
But I guess kids are kids, and they don't have to be electronic to make it that interesting to them. I guess. I don't know. All right, the next one, Scooby-Doo, is
Where
in.
are you?
Yeah, Scooby-Doo has a live-action series coming to Netflix. I remember that used to be my favorite. And of course, I knew back when I was younger that Velma was, lesbian.
Mm-hmm.
They admitted that Velma's lesbian. I don't think anybody really would have argued that. But okay, now we're getting things opening on its own here. Okay, I like when that does that. Okay, it says here, the Scooby-Doo live-action series in the works on Netflix. Greg Berlanti is the main guy that does the Marvel characters. He's head of that department, and he does like he does Green Arrow and the Flash, and like every one that you'll see his name on. So he's head of that division. It's funny to think of Scooby-Doo with the Marvel characters, but I guess that's part of the characters. So it says Greg Berlanti and Netflix are going for a ride in the Mystery Machine. The streaming giant is near a deal for live-action TV series based on the beloved Hanna-Barbera animated cartoon Scooby-Doo. The project has a script to series commitment at Netflix, meaning that if the script is well received, it would trigger a straight-to-series order, which is considered a live-action update. It says reps for Netflix, producers Warner Brothers Television, and Berlanti Productions declined to comment, as the deal is yet to have been formally closed. I would probably watch that because Scooby-Doo was kind of the coolest dog.
Mm-hmm.
And that was probably my favorite. I'm thinking growing up, that was probably one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And so I just wonder how they're going to butcher it. I know they're going to butcher it. So, all right, that's okay. Come on, let me have this. Okay, so I got to do that to Twitter. Okay, the next one. Okay, so that's that. What are you doing on there? I backed you up. Oh, that is right. Shoot. Hit. There we go. All right, the next thing is... I can't read it. I got to make this bigger. My eyes are not playing fair. Let's see, change the text. 16. Okay. Do you remember Gerald Depardieu? He was an action hero. He did some interesting things. Well, anyway, he's facing criminal charges in October in France over alleged sexual assault on the set in 2021, which is really kind of sad because I thought he was, pretty cool. But you might recognize him. Oh, he doesn't look too good anymore. I guess he is a lot older than a lot older. He's 75. It's kind of like throwing the book at Cosby. Once they're that age, what are you going to do to them?
Right.
Anyway, the allegations were brought by women who worked with Depardieu on film sets between 2014 and 2021. He was released from custody the same day and denies accusations. And it says shortly afterwards, prosecutors said Depardieu will appear in court October for the allegations of assault in 2021. So, I'm kind of bummed about that because I liked a lot of his acting. He did a lot of like action stuff. That's why when I looked at him, I thought, that's not the guy I remember. But yeah, he did a lot of he did some pretty cool movies. So, kind of a shame to see another guy get in trouble for stuff that you should know better than. Then we got, this is going to be good. Everyone should know that this is going to happen, and it's coming soon. Mike Tyson's going to be getting back in the ring, and he's taking on Jake Paul, which I want to see that so bad. I want to see Jake Paul go down. He's just, these guys think they're tough because they go in against some pretty believable talent, and they're taking them on in their own sports. And, Jake has beaten other people with boxing, even though he's not really a trained boxer. I guess he's trained now, but went in as an unknown and beat some guys. But you're not going to beat Tyson the way you beat some of these younger guys. It only takes one shot with Tyson. And also, I saw him on a show called Heart to Heart on Peacock. It's Kevin Hart interviewing different people.
Oh, interesting.
And he interviewed Tyson, and it was really interesting. And Tyson has some, I don't know if it's a superpower or what, but he actually sounded somewhat intelligent. And after all the hits to the head, I wouldn't have expected that. But he actually had some come to Jesus moments and some actually thought-provoking things that he said, and I wouldn't have expected that from him. I really expected him to be a lot more like a potato than Einstein. I didn't really expect him to say things that were smart, but he actually sounded somewhat intelligent. So if you ever have a chance to see Heart to Heart if you have Peacock, it's worth checking it out just because that's not what you would expect Tyson to sound like. So I found that very interesting. Let's see. I guess I ought to bring that up since I talked about it. Yeah. Now, his brother is in the WWE and is doing really well in the WWE. He's actually legitimizing himself as a wrestler, and you wouldn't expect... Okay, so it takes years to be a seasoned professional wrestler.
Right.
And no matter what you think of professional wrestling, it is an art, and you don't just jump in the ring and... But one thing to know is that when you're getting in there, he gets in there and he actually looks like a wrestler, and he does actually wrestle. So I know he's training, and he's probably training with some really good people because he's able to put together some decent matches, and he's actually the U.S. champion and has been the U.S. champion for more than a year. So I don't know what Jake does. I'm going to watch this though, because I got to see whether or not he gets himself killed. So this interests me because here you have a kid that's maybe in his 30s, maybe, and
who?
Jake Paul, and he's taking on, of all people, Tyson, and I wouldn't take on Tyson if I had a machine gun. So, I
How
don't
old
know.
do you think he is?
What's that?
How old do you think he is?
Maybe...
I think we talked about this before.
Actually, I don't know. I'm going to say 33.
He's only 27.
27? Well, I was going to say 30, and I thought I better probably go higher. But what's his brother? Does it say what his brother is? Logan Paul?
Yeah, I can find out for you.
Logan Paul... Wait a minute. Which one's the one that's... Yeah, I think Logan's the one that's in wrestling.
No, Jake Paul's the boxer.
Yeah.
But
Logan Paul is his brother.
right.
That's what
But I don't think he's in wrestling.
Logan is.
It doesn't say so.
Look up current WWE U.S. champion.
Okay.
I hope I'm right. Otherwise, I'm going to sound really stupid.
Oh, okay. Now I scrolled down more. Professional wrestler. Okay.
Okay.
You're right. You're right.
I like to be right once in a while.
His brother, Logan Paul's 29.
Okay. Well, for like I said, for a kid that has not grown up in wrestling and has only been training for a year and a half, maybe, he does some crazy stuff.
He's a boxing. Isn't I mean I know it's different than wrestling, but
it's a lot different. Why is that stop? Why did that stop? Oh, it's back. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. All I can tell you is that that for a kid that is as new as he is doing it. He's doing really well. All right. Box office this week. Fall Guy is they redid the Fall Guy from when we were kids or younger. When we were younger. Actually, I was technically a kid then too. There was a what's the guy's name? Steve Austin.
Steve Austin.
Yeah, had a show called. Well, I don't know what his real name was, but he had a show called Fall Guy, and it was about a stunt guy. Well, they remade that with a the guy that did Barbie, not Reynolds, Ryan
Gosling.
Gosling. They redid that, and they did $28.5 million at the box office, which, considering the size of the cast, they should have done much better than that. I'm sure they consider that a disappointment. They expected to do. It said expectations were 30 to 35 million, so I guess they weren't off by a whole lot, but it's kind of a disappointment that they couldn't do more than that.
Right.
But says here, Adam Couch writes that the Fall Guy is said to have a net budget of. So how much do you think they had in their budget? Now, keep in mind that this is a movie about stunts, about doing stunts. Just pick a number. Not in the billions, though.
50,000.
45 million.
45 million? 137 million was their budget.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. 130 million. After tax incentives, so it was probably higher than that, because depending on what the tax incentives were. It's crazy. All right, that's the end of the entertainment stuff.
What was that show that you said was on Peacock?
Heart to Heart. H-A-R-T to H-A-R-T. Yeah, that's why you're. In fact, wasn't there another? There was a show that was called Heart to Heart back in the 70s. It had.
Yes.
It was a detective show, but that's not what it is.
I don't see it on here.
It is. It's on there. I promise you.
I searched it, but I don't see
I will have to dig out this stuff for you. It's really good. All right, now we go to. All right, you gave your announcement. Do you want to do your segment now?
Well, there it is.
Sure.
Let's do your homeless segment.
I found
Well,
it.
they're trying to criminalize homelessness.
How can you criminalize homelessness?
Well, the city of Grant Pass instituted $295 in fines for sleeping on or under anything
Okay.
in public property. So that's
Wow.
cardboard, that's blankets, that's sleeping bag.
So basically,
$295 fine.
so they're finding someone that doesn't have any money to actually rent a room. So what are they going to get out of it? Throw them in jail?
Or they don't have any. Yes, it accumulates daily. And if you get multiple citations, you'll get a jail sentence or $1,250 in fines. The problem is these people have no money,
Yeah.
and the fines accumulate daily.
Yeah, let's not try to help them. Let's just throw them away.
Yeah, rack
That's
up
so
more.
stupid.
Rack up more debt.
And where's this at?
This is at Grant Pass, and I don't know what state it is. But anyhow, it's going the whole way to the Supreme Court.
Yeah, well, it should. I don't understand what their thought patterns were. I mean, as if it's
Pass is in Oregon.
okay. That makes sense. Not really. No, I can't imagine oh, you're going to get fined, but I don't have any money. Well, then I'm going to have to fine you again because you don't have any money. People are weird.
So it's violating the Eighth Amendment of the Constitution, where it's excessive bail should not be required, nor excessive fines imposed, nor cruel and unusual punishment.
Wow. That's all three.
Yeah.
That's all good.
That's amazing. That makes no sense. There's no reason for that.
Because my friend was homeless, and Kind of technically she still is, but she was living out of her car. Now her car is work needs work done to it, and the person that's working on her car, who's older than her dad, said, "Hey, I have an extra room that you can stay in."
Right.
So that's where she's staying now. She finally took the person up on the offer, but I mean, but before that, she was sleeping in her car first in the parking lot at work until the police knocked and said, "Hey, you can't stay here,
Jeez.
but you can go to Walmart."
You can go to Walmart. Okay.
Yeah, Walmart parking lot you can go to. So she's been going to Walmart parking lots and
And
sleeping.
Walmart doesn't bother. Doesn't care. Well,
Guess not.
that's good to know.
So,
But that's the difference.
so everything
she has a
you
car.
think you know about homelessness is probably wrong. Some people believe that the primary reason for homelessness is mental illness.
Okay.
There are many mentally ill people
Yes, there are.
on the streets. But it's only 33% of the homeless population
Really?
is mentally ill.
What's the
Interesting.
number one reason?
What do you think the
So,
What do you think the number one reason? What's the number one reason?
well, we're going to get to that.
Okay.
In Mississippi, it has the worst mental health system in the country. They have the lowest homeless rate because they have the lowest housing cost and the most availability of housing.
Wow. Huh.
So that's the number one problem. The other thing you might think is deinstitutionalization in the 60s and 70s. That's when John F. Kennedy, President Kennedy, left all the people out of the insane asylum.
Oh, jeez.
Right? But there was a lot of cheap housing there. There was very little homeless population.
Wow.
Could be a drug problem. But only 20 to 40% of the people that are homeless are using drugs or addicted to drugs and alcohol. But 100% can't afford housing.
Yeah.
West Virginia has the highest overdose death problem in the country. They have among one of the lowest homeless rates in the USA.
Wow.
It doesn't correlate.
Huh.
See, people need subsidized housing plus treatment.
Wow.
Okay, another one is poverty.
Right.
Detroit has a high poverty rate, but they have a low homeless rate. San Francisco has a low poverty rate, but an extremely high homeless rate. No correlation between poverty and homelessness. How about weather? Right?
Right.
The southern states, which are nice, have a higher homeless rate. I mean, a lower homeless rate than New York City or New York State or Vermont or Massachusetts. Right? It could be progressive politics. But Detroit and Chicago have a very low homeless rate, but San Francisco and New York have an extremely high homeless rate. And there's all blue states.
Interesting.
Cities.
Interesting.
And the difference is the housing cost. It's a housing. Right? Places with high housing costs and low supply have a high homeless rate.
Okay.
Now there's two other factors. I used to run three homeless shelters. So there's also irresponsibility and people being ignorant. They go into subsidized housing and they rip it apart. And then the owner of Section 8 housing won't rent to anybody else.
Right.
Yep.
It drops out of Section 8 housing.
Yep.
Yeah.
because of what people have done to his property.
Yep.
Jeez.
That's a very big contributing factor.
Yeah. Jeez.
But really, when it comes down to it, we don't have enough affordable housing in this country.
Wow. That's sad though. That's I mean, it doesn't. These people are considered throwaways, and it's just a shame, because you can't
what
get
Grant Pass wants to do is get them out of their city.
right.
Just get them out of the city. Don't
That's
try to fix it.
right, and that's the politicians that shouldn't be in charge. The ones that just want to let's just throw them away. Let's just throw them in jail. Let's just fine them.
Right.
Because we know they can't pay. So.
And they ask on the thing, are you convicted of anything? And then they say on there, oh, that's not going to hinder you from getting a place, but yet it really does.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I just think it's a crazy thing that we're not willing to help.
Because that's the trouble that Anton and I are going through right now. Like, people won't give us a chance because of our past.
Yeah.
I mean, luckily we're in a place now, but like, we don't want to keep climbing the third floor. So we're trying to find something different that's on the first floor, but yet the cost
Right.
and people trying to give us a chance.
Right. I don't know.
In this housing market across the U.S., that's why you're seeing so much homelessness.
That's
Because
crazy.
housing costs are so high, and the price of money is so high.
Right.
Who can afford? I mean, my home loan is 3%. Today it's around 7%.
When I had a mortgage, it was probably. I think I was at 5 at one point, but I got it back down to like around 3 or something. But yeah, I mean, and that's with a good credit rating.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you,
That's with a very big
And
yeah,
that's like my friend. Like, she has a car, but she can't keep up with the car payment plus the rent, both, and like, she's got some health issues just like me. So she tries to work as much as she can,
Right.
but sometimes health intervenes and you can't. So it's a struggle to. How can you pay all those bills?
I totally get it because if Pam and I weren't married and together, I don't know where she would have gone. Because I mean, she went from making $60,000 to $80,000 a year to nothing because she got sick, and I had to pay all the bills at that point. And believe me, I got us into when we bought this house, I was paying $2,000 a month for this house because we both had incomes, so we could put my income towards this house. But when she got sick, I still had to pay that because that's what I signed up for, and I had to refinance the house 3 times while she was sick, so that I could keep afloat. Now I was fortunate enough that I was able to pay off my mortgage early. I mean, when she died, it was just me, and I paid my mortgage off with part of the money that is my retirement. But I paid a huge penalty for doing it. If I had known I was going to pay that huge penalty, I would have just paid it off a little at a time then, and it would have made more sense to do it that way. But I just didn't want any bills because I wanted to retire, and it would have made more sense for me to keep the mortgage and pay it off slowly rather than pay that huge penalty that I paid. I paid $60,000 in penalties to pay it off early.
But people say that, oh, we're out here to help. We're out here
Yeah,
to help.
they're not.
But they're not helping.
They're not there. They're out to make money.
Exactly.
So that's a very, very sad story. I mean, what's the answer? Is there any answer? Is there anything people could do to?
We need to build low-cost, affordable housing, and a lot of it.
Well, the nice thing is that there's people like Elon Musk out there, and he built a Tesla mini house that he is talking about trying to get back for. He can build a fully functional mini house for like $10,000, and
Yes.
that's that's the kind of things that we need rather than that's throw them in jail or that's,
Right.
you know.
Now, don't get me wrong, Mike. Drug problem, poverty is all mental health. It's all a problem. Those things have to be attacked too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Your responsibility. You got to get people to care about this, the house they live in.
Yes.
But the main thing is housing.
Yes.
Right.
And it does, you know, it just affects those people in a lot of ways. I mean, I was homeless, but I wasn't homeless because if I had to go somewhere, I had somewhere I could go. I was homeless by choice. So that's a little different than their situation where they are homeless and have nowhere to go. I had to do it for my mental health I had to be homeless for my mental health because where I wasn't good for me. And I'm glad I did it. It taught me survival techniques and it taught me a lot of things that I can't even explain to you. But if push came to shove, I had a place to go. And, you know, a lot of the times I spent time with my friends Bowski and Vi because they had a nice place and they let me. I told them a couple times that there's probably no one on this planet that I owe more to than them, because there were many, many times that they fed me when I didn't have any food, and you know, when you're making minimum wage, as you know, you can't do anything. You're stuck, and fortunately, you know, for me it worked out, but. You know, I'm one of the few people that got out of the hole and made it so that I can do what I want to do now.
Right.
And I'm very thankful for that because I never would have imagined it. You know, I see friends of mine that retire and 3 years later they're dead because whatever reason. And I said, I want to retire early. I never imagined I really would. So I got lucky. And
One of the reasons they die young is because they don't have any hobbies, they don't have any purpose, there's no meaning to their life.
yeah,
They sit around and watch soap operas
yeah.
or the fishing channel.
Or just go fishing. I don't know. I'm very happy with the way my situation turned out, but I'm one of the few.
Right.
And I see people that are older than me that are doing well. I see people in their 70s that are doing just fine, and they're people that I'm glad to see that there are people out there that are doing well. And it's funny to think of like Steven Tyler, 70 some years old, but I keep thinking of him when he was 30. It's like it's weird to think of your heroes, or not that he's my hero, but it's funny to think of people that you can't imagine that they're really that age.
76.
76. I knew he was up there. And by the way, I want to say that a friend of mine, J.J. Rupp, who I've gone to see him play, announced today that he's going to be on tour with, of all people, the madman himself, Ted Nugent. I mean, I'd love to meet him. I know I wouldn't ever get along with him because he's too radical for me, but still, it's a cool thing to say that you went on tour with him, and so I'm real happy to hear that he's actually getting a chance to do that. By the way, we have a name for the band.
You got a name?
Well, this is like our sixth name, but I think this is the last one. Stoneface.
Stoneface.
Not stoned, Stoneface.
Okay.
It's kind of we've been through like every name we pick, we're finding somebody else has it. So Stoneface is an actual pretty cool name. I took AI and I took Easter Island, the stones, and I put 5 of them side by side, and then I animated them all turning their heads and stuff. It was kind of fun, but I don't think they're going to use that one. But the last one we were going to be was OL School, SKOOL, or SKOLL. schools. I don't know, something like that. And I made some really cool animation, some really cool pictures of school buses with rock people inside, and right as I sent them over, they changed the name again. So, you know, I don't care what they can call us, whatever they want. I just want to play. I don't care. You know, I'm at a point where
that's what I'm going to call you guys. Whatever you want.
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure it's call us whatever you want. I just want to play.
That's okay. That would be the perfect name. We are called whatever you want, as long as we can play. So, but yeah, I'm excited about that anyway. But anyway, yeah, that's a good story, and it's really a shame that people are that cruel, and that I can't fathom why people can't even see. I can't. The fact that they have no money. Oh, let's fine them. Yeah, let's put them in jail. Well, at least they get a free meal in jail.
Seriously, though.
You know, it's I don't know.
They're callous.
I know. It's just really sad. It reminds me of when I was in high school that the people.
The businesses in town want them gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
The rich people in town want them gone.
Well, then build them a little town of their own.
Yeah, seriously,
Give
though.
them a place.
Seriously.
Let's give them a place. I mean, rather than just saying you can't be here, how about saying you can't be here, but you can be here?
Right.
You know, we'll
give them another option.
We'll give you a piece of land over here. Just do whatever you want there. Just don't do it over here. At least give them an opportunity to be treated like human beings. Not here. After you get the first one, you just go ahead. Just give me another one. Go ahead, give me another one. Doesn't matter, because if I don't have money for one, I don't have the money for 10.
Right.
You know, this is just a stupid.
Think of it from a politician's point of view. If your business community and your rich community want something, who are you going to side with?
Right. Yeah. It's a shame, though. It's just wrong on every level.
It's wrong on every level.
You know, it's just greed. It's on selfishness. I mean, every level. You know, it's just not right that someone would, that people would even think it would be okay to do that. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. No, it's not.
No.
It's not okay. Obviously, they've never been on that side of the street.
Because I was just going to say, what if the tables were turned?
Yeah.
Like, seriously. How would you want to be treated? And if you didn't get treated, like if you got treated the way that you're treating others, you would say, oh, that's not fair. That's not right.
Yep.
Well, that's how you treated these other people, so
That's
how
right.
isn't it?
Yeah.
How isn't it fair?
Yeah, it's I don't know. I don't understand people. I don't understand, because they could take, even if they took some of the, like, money off of, let's say you had a sub shop. Take 10% or 5% off of that money and give it to the fund for the homeless people, so that they could have, you know, a place to live, a place to, you know. It's not like people say, okay, well, I'm just going to give up my job and I'm just going to be homeless. You don't do that. You don't really. No one says, I want to be homeless. It's just not. It's not right. It's not. There's no upside for those people. So I don't know, but there's nothing we can do about it right now except put it out there, and hopefully one person will hear that and make a difference. All right, is that it?
That's it, Mike.
All right. Let's find that article that's for you. Here it is. Did you see the article? I saw it in the New York Post, but I know it's been on YouTube and it's been on a bunch of places. A possible UFO over New York City baffles passengers flying into LaGuardia.
No, I didn't.
Really? Okay. Well, they have a video of it too. It's really. We had talked about UFOs at some point, And I had asked you, do you think that there's life other than us? And UFO just stands for unidentified, so it could be something that's Earth. Someone on Earth did it, but and we don't know because Area 51 is Area 51. We don't know what's going on there, so there could be some aliens there, and they might even be working for us. Yeah. You never know. But this video, don't tell me this video is not going to play. Oh, jeez. I want to play this video because it's really it was crazy. I mean, I don't know what to think about it because they were in an airplane and they were just, you're in an airplane, you take video of the city because it's, pretty cool. And I took pictures of the when I was in the air, I took pictures of stuff too, just because it was cool. But they actually took video. What? I gave you a rawhide down there. Eat it. She's frustrated because she wants something better than that rawhide. Don't you look at me like that. I'm going to give her a job on the air. She's going to do the dog report. But anyway, so the video I saw of this, it's kind of scary because it looks legit. But it may be legit, it may not be legit. But let me see here. Let me get a picture up here because the video's not going to play. I don't know why it's acting weird. Let me try and refresh it. But it says no video. Yeah, it says video failed to load. But it is on YouTube. And let me see if I can get it from YouTube. Hold on. It's worth looking at. No. We're not going to do that. Let's see. UFO. LaGuardia. There is UFO LaGuardia. Okay. Let me find what looks to be. Of course, it could be the band UFO too. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a real pain to find. It's not going to be that easy. Let me see if I can figure this out. UFOs 2024. That would be better. Strange sightings. Here it is. Okay. Is this the one? Yep, this is the one. Okay. Let's see if I get in trouble for playing this.
I am going to make you a bet that the next time you get a window seat on a plane, you're going to think of this next story, and you're going to think of the guest who is going to talk about this next story. Michelle Reyes was flying over New York City with her daughter, and she was sitting by a window. When she did what a lot of us do, we, take pictures out the window, nice video of the New York skyline. It's an amazing view. But what Michelle did not expect to see was a cylinder-shaped object zipping across her line of sight nearly...
Oh, there it is. So, it looks like a cigar. And nobody's been able to identify it as anything because it doesn't have wings. It just kind of something. I don't know what it is, but it's, it wouldn't be, it probably would not be American intelligence because they wouldn't put it over a city like that.
Can you mute me? Kylie just texted me that she wants me to call her.
Okay. So the question becomes, what is it? And, this thing moved pretty quickly, she said. And so but they did actually capture it on video. So the new phones can do a tremendous thing.
LaGuardia Airport. Was it a bug inside the plane, maybe? Well, she played the video back to look, and no, it was not a bug. Whatever it was definitely outside the plane, and it was flying on its own, and it was really, really fast. Michelle Reyes joins me now exclusively, and I want to welcome back Ben Hansen from UFO Witness on Discovery Plus as well. Michelle, thank you so much for being here. First of all, wow, that was pretty alarming stuff. What did you do with the video, and did you reach out to authorities to share it with them?
Thank you for having me. And when I realized that I had something like this on the video, the first thing I did was I emailed the FAA to let them know what I saw, and maybe it was a safety hazard. I reached out to them. Unfortunately, I haven't heard back from them. They didn't acknowledge my email.
See, that's the first thing I think about, too, is that would be on our radar somewhere. You would think that somehow something would tell us that this was there or not. Because,
Well,
you know...
unless it evades radar.
Well, do we know anything that does?
Stealth fighters,
Okay, yeah,
they can evade radar.
okay.
And I would imagine if you could fly from another planet, you have better technology than we do.
But why would they even know that there was radar that they would have to avoid? You know, they would probably not even think, I mean, you know, they may, I don't know, I just think that it's really weird, but this is obviously something. What it is, I don't know, but it's kind of, it fascinates me that they actually have, because I always say, well, why is it that the only people that are ever seeing UFOs are drunk guys out in the middle of nowhere? But and who knows how many people saw this? And to my knowledge, she's the only one that said anything about this. So no one on the ground saw it, or did they? I mean, nobody said anything except her. So my question is, what is this? Why is she the only one that's seen it? And you know, she doesn't look like she's a high-tech lady, so she didn't generate it with AI or anything. so it's really, to me, it's really fascinating. But yet, it's still like everything else. It's like Sasquatch. It's blurry. You can't really tell what it is. You know. And I'd like a clean-cut picture, because that has to be, as big as that is, as far away as it was, it's probably pretty big, I'm thinking. But nobody else seen it but her? You know, I just wonder about this.
And then I sent it to Enigma Labs and the National UFO Database.
And any response?
Enigma Labs was the only one who responded to me.
So your dad apparently... Oh, okay. So, and as I understand, your dad is a former Navy guy, so you were able to share with him as well. What did he say?
I showed it to him first, and he honestly had no idea what it was either. He had no idea. He was just as baffled as I was.
Did you guys settle on the fact that it maybe was a drone? It was going awfully fast to be a drone, but was that the best guess?
He thought it may be a drone, but he didn't think that it should be where it was, that close to the aircraft. So he really didn't have an answer for me. He was just as clueless as I was. He's seen a lot of things, and he couldn't give me an answer, but if he had to guess, he would have said drone.
So it's a good thing Ben Hansen is here. You know, you host a show called UFO Witness. What do you think about this Tic Tac video, Ben?
This was incredible, honestly, because it took a while just for us to get in touch with Michelle. It wasn't for her posting it on the app. Someone had borrowed, sort of stole it from her social media and posted it as if they were her friend. So we had no idea who she was. We were looking up flights and trying to figure out which flight she was on. When we finally were able to contact her, she, for me, has been completely just genuine, sincere. We've now started to analyze the video, and I feel a little awkward saying this with her here, but find no evidence that she faked this or hoaxed it. I didn't from the beginning, but we had to run it through, you know, the proper data analysis, and it's there. It's very clear, which is unusual. So to me, I feel as though this is probably something not terribly far in the distance, but it also, there's problems with the theory of it being something as simple as an insect, which I would suspect this was happening, on the ground. We're talking 200 plus miles an hour at this point. Her jet is flying. So it passes in about a seventh of a second, and it's present in 5 frames of the video. So there's a lot we can dive into with this, but we're
shiny giant, really fast insect. It definitely doesn't look like an insect. It certainly looks like the Tic Tacs that we've seen in other naval videos as well. And Michelle, did you say there was someone else maybe on that flight who you later were able to determine saw this as well?
Yes, I had posted the video onto my social media, and one of the other moms on the flight, she said that she had noticed it when she was in the air too. So I wasn't the only one who saw it. So it was kind of, a little more like nerve-wracking that someone else also saw what I saw.
Well, I hope the authorities are watching tonight, and I'm sorry to say, that you didn't get the attention that you should have when you alerted them to videos like this. I think it behooves all of us to just at least forward the information. We don't need to make judgment on it, but for heaven's sake, acknowledge that this is unusual, and it certainly does resemble some of the other unusual things we've seen before. Thank you for watching. Go to...
So there you go. There's some kind of proof, if you will, that there's something weird happening out there. Not that we need proof of that.
Right.
But
the first thing I thought of is it was a drone. But drones have wings. And it didn't look like this thing had any.
No, it has no wings at all. And the thing is, so a drone would be something that the government would run, right?
Right.
And why would they put it in a city that as populated? You would want to take something like that in the desert where people may not see it. That's the thing that I guess is the thing that bothers me the most, is that if it was a government thing, they would want to not reveal that it's out there. And with
plus the paint job would be different because they would want to blend it in with the sky.
Okay.
But you can't look up and see this drone flying overhead.
Right. So it comes down to what is it? We don't know. It's a shame, but I have absolutely no idea what that is. I want to say that it was made up, but the girl that got it, she doesn't look like somebody that would be doing that. If it was a college student, I would say, okay, he faked it or came up with, but I'm really surprised more people have not spoke about this. Yeah, because I can't imagine in this world that only 2 people or 3 people saw it, and I don't know but I wouldn't expect the government to have done this because, like I said, it's the FAA would talk about it, or there would be some kind of hoopla that would say that somebody's doing something. So I don't know. I just found it interesting, though.
Well, biblically speaking, Mike, the Bible makes no mention of aliens.
Yeah.
Or that God created anybody anywhere else. But I'd love to know if there were aliens. Me too. It would really change my opinions of a lot of things. But we're not going to find that out today. But I found that and I saw that and I thought, that's for you. Well, thank you.
I thought it was good. It was awesome because we talked about that the other week and not knowing. There was also something else. I don't know if I captured. I hope I grabbed it. It was things that are not in the Bible but we think are, or something like that. Things that people think are bad because of the Bible, and the Bible doesn't speak of any of it. And I don't think I grabbed it. I think I forgot it. I'm gonna have to see if I can get that for next week because it seemed like an interesting topic, and you would be the man that would know whether or not that was in the Bible, not me. So looks like that's not what I thought it was.
Dinosaurs aren't really just an example. Dinosaurs aren't mentioned in the Bible.
Okay, the other video I saw that
All
was
they said was Leviathan.
what?
Leviathan is the only thing that they talked about, and that's just a big creature.
Actually, the other video I saw that was interesting this week was on the pyramids and how it today's technology would not allow us to build the pyramids as quickly as they were supposedly built.
Right.
And what was inside the pyramids was a lot different than what we had all thought. And I don't know how much you know about the pyramids. I would hope that you know something about the pyramids, because I know nothing about the pyramids except what I saw in this video. But this video really, they were telling. I wish I had the video with me, because that would be something I would love you guys to watch, because it was fascinating. It was the size of the blocks on the pyramid. We don't have equipment today that could lift that stuff where they put it. The technology that we have today, even the big, heavy machines that we have, would not be able to build a pyramid.
Correct. There's no way we could build a pyramid.
Which really brings an interesting thought up that they brought up in this whole thing, which I never thought of. What if? Okay, we some of us believe that the dinosaurs were killed by by asteroids. But what if it wasn't just the dinosaurs? What if there were people before that? What if there were generations and generations of people that the world wanted a do-over and just boom, killed them all off? And so one theory that they have on how these pyramids were made was that the people that were around when these pyramids were made had technology that is beyond anything we could even think of, and that they made these pyramids, and the exact location of the pyramid is very. I'm gonna have to dig this video out. You would dig this video, because they talk about where the pyramids are actually located, and the part of the earth that it's on, the what is it? Lateral the degrees, latitude, longitude has a lot to do with where they are. Has to do with the world and where the axis and everything is. It really blew me away, some of the stuff they were talking about, and I was watching this in the middle of the night, so I don't retain all of the things that I saw, but it was really fascinating to me that, it actually I thought about it, I thought, well, maybe there were people before us that had technology that we didn't have or never even thought of. Maybe we're not as far ahead as we think we are. Maybe somebody else has technology to make these UFOs. Maybe some of those people are still around. But I just found that really fascinating. That there was that was even. I never thought about it, because you think about the pyramids, you think, oh, that was a long time ago. It was like the people were dragging these things up a. The amount of people that would have to be, you had to, the limestone that they used was 500 miles from the pyramids.
Right.
They had to take the blocks 500 miles to this place for them to build this pyramid, with human beings pulling the ropes. The amount of people that had to be there to pull those ropes, assuming you had ropes that could do it. They started throwing. That was blowing my mind when I was watching this. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Wait, how did that happen? And by the time the thing was over, I'm like, well, how did they make the pyramids? I still don't know now. Maybe that black thing that's across the screen picked one of those things up and dropped it down. I don't know. But it was really, and the technology inside the pyramids was interesting too. I mean, it just, because they didn't bury people in the pyramids. I thought that's what the pyramids were all about, and they don't. What were they for? It's like it just all this stuff that I didn't know about. Now I'm even more confused about. Before I didn't care. Now I really want to know. So I'll dig the video up for you. I think you'll like it.
Yeah, I like that. Mike, there's a theory that between Genesis 1:1, where the world was a void, and Genesis 1:2, there's a gap there.
Okay.
The dinosaurs, cavemen, hundreds of thousands of years took place between Genesis 1:1 and 1:2. It's not a very well accepted theory, but it is a theory that would tie the evolutionary aspect in with the Bible.
Wow. That's interesting. See, this is stuff that
Maybe these people lived there during that time.
yeah, I mean it just gives me a whole different view of things. Because before I never could care less about pyramids, big deal, pyramids. But I didn't realize how big they were, and I didn't realize how big the blocks were. And they were showing this crane trying to pick it up, and the crane just fell over because they couldn't do and that was a heavy duty crane, and these things are just so heavy. I just really was fascinated by it. What? Do you want in on this? Do you want to talk about the pyramids? I don't think she wants to talk about the pyramids. But yeah, I all of a sudden got.
Find me that video.
I will find you. I can find. Let me find that. I can find it right now. I just was really amazed.
He thought it may be a drone, but he didn't think that it
you.
should.
But yeah, because it's just amazing to me that that this is all. This is stuff I never would have even thought about because it just didn't make. I could care less about the pyramids. Now I care about the pyramids. Just can't believe this is. And also Mike Wolf, or not Mike Wolf, Mike Wolf's partner. Do you watch American? What do they call it? What's the name of the show? American Pickers.
Yeah.
The not Mike Wolf, but his partner died.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, he died. Right there he is. I didn't do an obituary on him yet.
When did he die?
Just a couple days ago. Where is? I hope I find it, because I really want to revisit that again anyway, because it was such a good video. The guy just had this stuff that was just. Oh, here it is. There it is. It's called The Great Pyramid Mystery: The Oldest Cover-Up in History. So, I'm waiting. It's not. Come on, pull it up. Frank, yeah, that's a guy.
Perfect.
Yeah. Oh, so there's some of the thing, 1 square minute of latitude and longitude, and it talks about all this stuff. This stuff is so intense on it, and it amazes
Throw that
me.
bulky old.
Wait a minute, hold on. You're not supposed to have that. I'm supposed to be commercial free. Why are you playing commercials? Let me get the thing for you, because I think that this is such a cool video. I'm going to put this in the chat room too, I think. Let me see. How do I do that? Put it on Facebook too. I just was really fascinated by the whole thing. Never in my wildest dreams would I have even thought would care about. It's just one of those things that there's no reason for me to care about it. But now I'm like, this really makes a lot of sense what he's saying. That how could they do that? How could they move this stuff? And it just now I'm fascinated because it doesn't make sense to me. It like the same as with the whole the UFO thing. It's just like the UFO thing. It just doesn't make any sense. But yet they exist. We know the pyramids are here because we have proof that they're here. But now what happened to it? Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. All right. So let me see if I can. Oh, I got to go through this 5 seconds of crap to get to the. I want to play at least part of the video just because it was really cool. I want to show the vehicles that they showed that you can't. It doesn't make sense that we couldn't. They wouldn't be able to move this stuff. Oh, here we go. Okay, I'm going to turn this up here.
Same size as the Great Pyramid, was contracted to be completely filled with dirt. And it took dump trucks dumping dirt into it like an assembly line every minute of every day, 12 full years to finish the job. So to tell me the ancient Egyptians precisely cut large 80-ton limestones, somehow transported them 500 miles, delicately constructing the pyramid piece by piece so perfectly you can't even fit a dollar bill between the stones in just 20 years' time does not make any sense whatsoever. Now, I'm not doubting their ability to build a pyramid. Maybe they could. I'm just doubting their ability to do it with the tools they had as quickly as they supposedly did, especially when you consider how it was designed. From the slope angles to the dimensions to the global positioning of the Great Pyramid itself, nothing was done haphazardly. In the 1940s, British airman and archaeologist P. Groves was flying over the Great Pyramid when he noticed something odd. As he flew over the monument, he saw that the pyramid had what appeared to be 8 distinct sides, not 4 like it normally appears from the ground. And upon further examination...
Did you realize that? Did you know that? 8 sides? Yeah, that's the other thing. It was blowing my mind, all these things he was telling me, and I'm like, is that real? Is that real?
He found that these 8 sides were only visible at sunrise and sunset on the equinox, which only happens twice a year when the sun is directly above the Earth's equator. This would officially be the first time this phenomenon was documented in modern history, leading many to believe that maybe there's more to this structure than meets the eye. Was this design done intentionally? And if so, why was it only meant to be seen from the air when the airplane wasn't invented for another 4,400 years? Buckle up, because here's where things get crazy. When you look at the exact location of the Great Pyramid, you'll find that it actually sits at the geodesic center of all landmass on planet Earth, meaning that if you drew imaginary lines out of the side of the Great Pyramid that went all the way around the globe, those lines would touch more land than it would if the pyramid had been built at any other point on the planet. And that's not all. The Great Pyramid is also perfectly aligned to magnetic true north, with an accuracy of 3/60ths of 1 degree of latitude and longitude. That's an accuracy of 99.94%. In fact, it's so closely aligned to true north that we couldn't even tell how accurate it was until the invention of the modern day satellite. And to this day, it's still the most accurately aligned structure on the entire planet. For comparison, the Paris Observatory was built to be aligned to true north, but even with modern day technology, they could only get it to within 6/60ths of 1 degree, making the Great Pyramid twice as accurate. Now keep in mind that the ancient Egyptians were only supposed to have a basic understanding of math, probably no more complex than high school algebra, meaning they were supposed to be completely clueless about things like geometry and trigonometry, and they certainly wouldn't have known about mathematical constants like pi or phi, which were discovered thousands of years after the Great Pyramid was built. Yet both of these constants are seamlessly weaved into the structure's design. For example, pi is the ratio that explains the relationship of a circle's circumference to its radius. And if you made an imaginary circle that's circumference was the same length as the perimeter of the Great Pyramid, the radius of that circle would equal the exact height of the Great Pyramid. And phi, known today as the golden ratio or Fibonacci sequence because it's responsible for the formation of life itself, from the human embryo all the way up to the formation of galaxies. Well, if you took the surface area of all 4 sides of the Great Pyramid and divided it by the surface area of the base, that gives you the number 1.618, or the golden ratio itself. And if your mind's not already spinning, if you look at the exact coordinates of where the pyramid is on a map, you'll get the number 29.9792458 degrees north. Ironically, this number is the exact same number as the speed of light when measured in meters per second, which is kind of crazy because the speed of light wasn't discovered until the 1600s. Surely these couldn't all be a coincidence, right? Let's keep going. This pyramid
This stuff is so weird to me that all this, I can't even imagine sitting there and thinking this all through. But all the things just keep getting crazier and crazier as he goes. And the fact of the matter is that it just keeps going. It just grows and grows in this stuff. And I did watch it to the very end. I want to find the section about where they talked about the actual vehicles that tried to move some of the stuff. It was like, there it is. This is pretty cool.
Here's a video showing that even our most powerful hydraulic cranes struggle to lift rocks of this size. And those are steel cables, not the bullshit papyrus ropes the ancients supposedly used to drag these stones into place using wooden rollers and wet sand.
Now, Egyptologists will tell you that, oh, they could move heavy blocks because they put them on wet sand. Well, maybe if you're just at ground level, that will do. But when you're 350 feet above the ground, as you are in the King's Chamber, that won't do at all.
I'm just gonna make an educated guess and say that wooden rollers would stand zero chance of being placed under 80 tons of anything, which leads me to the cuts on these stones. Every stone making up the pyramid was not glued into place using concrete or mortar or anything like you'd expect. In reality, each side was cut so precisely and placed so delicately that the joints between every stone making up the pyramid fit so perfectly together like Legos that you can't even fit a razor blade between them. Meaning that this structure has literally withstood the test of time using nothing but its own weight and precision-made cuts. Something you can't necessarily say for any of the 100 plus pyramids built by copycat pyramid builders for over 700 years after the Great Pyramid. So how did the Egyptians cut each stone so perfectly? According to mainstream Egyptology, they used copper handsaws and chisels. And just to show you how utterly unrealistic this is, not long ago, one Egyptologist attempted to recreate the stone of the Sphinx using copper chisels, much like the ones the ancient Egyptians might have used. And after several days of hammering away at this stone non-stop, he barely made a dent in it.
After days of work, their copper chisels and stone pounders are barely making a dent.
Not only was the copper chisel not chipping away at the limestone very efficiently, but the chisel itself would become utterly useless after a few dozen strikes.
When Roger tries chisels...
Now think about this for a second. Now, our modern tools can't do this stuff. How did they do it? It just blows my mind that this even... You know, this stuff even, unless they had these super sophisticated tools, like, you know, because they had to change their tools every so many pounds. I mean, and think about the number of blocks they're talking about and how heavy those blocks were. How can they move those big blocks? Right. I don't know. It's just mind-blowing to me. So I'll get you the link for that. But this is a pretty good video. It's got a lot of stuff in it, a lot of mind-blowing stuff that...
I can't find anything confirming what you said, though, about Frank.
You think I lied?
I don't think...
Look him on his Wikipedia.
He doesn't have one.
Oh.
Because I tried that.
I only know that that's what it says. I saw it and I thought, well, that's sad. Well, he's got some alcohol problems and some drug problems.
Well,
that's why he left the show or was kicked off the show.
He had a stroke afterwards.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He did.
He
I
had a
forgot about
stroke
that.
afterwards. And from what I read, he was put in a home care facility.
Oh.
And he was getting physical therapy, so he was starting to talk. Well,
I'm glad I didn't do the obituary then. So...
But that was as...
Do you want to get him on your list?
That's as of March 13th, 2024.
Did you do your list yet?
No, I didn't. I forgot all about it. I'm writing it down.
And that's as of March 13th, 2024. That's what
well,
I'm
I mean,
you.
We're talking April, May. We're talking
right. So I'm not saying he couldn't.
I don't know if he is. Did you type in his name and
yes.
And it didn't find anything?
No.
Huh. Well, that's interesting. I wonder. Yeah, I don't know what to think about that. I'm glad I didn't.
That's why I'm like I'm over here like typing away, searching everything I can.
Yeah.
And then I even thought, okay, well, I'll check out his Wikipedia. But he doesn't have a Wikipedia.
Because he's dead. He couldn't put one up. He died before he put it together. Well, there's no... Mike Trash doesn't have one either. Yet. I want somebody else to write it for me so I can go in there and change it.
So I look up the American Pickers Wikipedia, because that's what came up.
Yeah.
Then I look under, like, you can... It has the blue name. You can click on the link for Mike Wolf, but not Frank.
That's interesting. Now I don't know. I don't know what to say about that.
You're usually the one to catch this stuff.
I didn't. I didn't do an obituary for him yet. That's good. I didn't. I'll just go to AI and they'll figure it out. What do you want? I don't have anything else. You ate them all. There's no big ones in here. You got the last one. I got no more. I have no more. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to starve. All right. So anyway, so I just found this was a really cool thing, and it made me interested in the Great Pyramids because I never really had an interest in them. But now I've got this big fascination by, what they're doing and how they did it, and things that never really mattered to me now matter. Because this is like, how did they move these blocks? That's what I want to know.
What's it called again, Mike?
What's what? This is called the Great Pyramid Mystery, the oldest cover-up in history. I've got the link. I can just send it to you. The link.
I got it right.
Oh, you do? Okay. I'd be curious after you watch it what you think of it, because you being a man of the cloth or whatever will have some insight that I won't have. But I'm curious as to what your evaluation, because the end of it when he talks about, maybe there was like the dinosaurs, there were people prior to this that had the technology that surpasses anything that we had. I mean, that's a possibility. I don't know what else could ring true to how they could do this stuff, because we're talking about cavemen, or we're talking about, maybe there was another group of people. Maybe they're the aliens now. Maybe they said, oh, there's a big boulder coming this way. We better, get in our ships and fly away. Maybe that's why there are, maybe there are other aliens. Because then they're not really aliens, though, because they're just coming home. I don't know. I just wonder now, because it just is, it's got me thinking things I never would have thought of before. And that's what those things are good for. Gets us thinking. You're still looking for him, aren't you? Oh, well, that's no fun. But yeah, I kind of found that interesting. So you watch that and let me know what you think of it, because I'm going to ask you. I'll ask you next week for a report, or maybe that'll be your thing for next week. All right. Let's see. Oh, we did do that. We did the Chipotle thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was it? That should be okay. A 1993 Ford Probe GT with just 7,000 miles is up for auction. How much do you think it'll go for? A Ford Probe.
$7 million.
Actually, I don't know the answer. I have to look. It's got.
I'd say.
It says bring a trailer. That means it probably doesn't run.
5,000 then?
All right, let's see what we got. I think, let's see, where is it at? But the Probe, I mean, that was I remember that car. There weren't a lot of Probes made, I don't think.
What is it?
A Ford Probe GT.
Ford.
Let me see what.
It looks in cherry condition.
It looks like it's yeah. Well, if it only had 7,000 miles, it better be in cherry condition. It says here the Ford Probe was actually was intended to replace the Mustang. It says through following massive public backlash, that ultimately didn't happen. Consumers gravitated towards the stylish coupe. If you're English, you say coupe instead of coupe. In a big way, and enjoyed the strong sales results during its time. It says here, in the years since it was discontinued, the Probe represented little more than another used car, but interest and values are starting to rise in recent months. We've had some examples, including a 1,000-mile 1997 model, a 93 Ford Probe GT with 30,000 miles, and a 94 GT with 28,000 miles up for grabs. And it says, bring a trailer. I don't know, I guess it must not be running very well, but it says, It's an. What you got something?
I'm on the same page you are.
Oh, okay.
Look, if you go clear to the top.
Clear to the top.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Look up there in the top corner, down right underneath there. What does that say? Can you read that small below
Oh
print?
yeah. Well, what are you saying? April 5th, 2024.
You don't have the same thing I do?
I don't know. I don't know what you were looking at. What are you looking at?
Or maybe not. Oh no, it's the same car, but it's okay.
What,
I know how much it sold for.
What did it sell for?
18,000.
Okay, that's not real impressive, but I guess it is compared. What year was it? 90. Okay, so
1993.
So that car probably was a $10,000 car at one time. Is that what it says? Does it say what it originally? Because back then,
Boy, I'm way off.
what would you think it was?
7 million.
Oh, yeah. I'm not really sure what the point of that was, except that it was just a replacement for the Mustang. I think that's why I had it up there in the first place, because you take a look at that car, that doesn't look like it should be a replacement for the Mustang.
So I was on the website called Bring a Trailer.
Bring a trailer.
.com.
I didn't even.
That's why it says Bring a Trailer.
Okay.
But it sold for 18,000 on April 9th, 2024.
Well, when you think about that, because back in that day, in '94, that car was probably $6,000 to $8,000.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I don't think it would have been more than that. Because that was a four. I think it was a 4-cylinder. Might have been a 6-cylinder. So for that to go for
It was a V6.
Oh, it was a 6. Okay. But still, it probably, because we're used to we now live in a world.
2.5-liter V6.
We live in a world right now where cars are now, look at the average car brand new is 35,000 is probably the average.
Well, this was from Oklahoma too.
Yeah. So the other reason I did bring it up was because it was supposed to be a replacement for, of all things, a replacement for the Mustang. I wouldn't consider that a replacement for the Mustang. The Mustang I always thought was a cool car. Oh, by the way, there's a new Mustang coming out that's electric that's going to be a Mustang pickup. Talk about using the name and putting it on anything. That's not a Mustang to me. Well, they did that to the Bronco, too. I remember the Bronco they made into an SUV. So, it's a lot different than the Broncos I was used to seeing. But I found that interesting because, like I said, I thought it was supposed to be the replacement for the Mustang, and nobody's gonna. I don't know. Somebody will buy it because it's a unique car, and they didn't make that many of them. So here's a cop video tackling their perp. I say that because it's funny. This cop was chasing a loose pig that was terrorizing a Utah neighborhood. I swear, sometimes it's funny the amount of weird stuff that we find. But New York Post has some really cool stuff. So, and of course, the video's not working again. I wonder if that has something to do with my ad blocker.
Maybe.
Because it's not letting me play anything off of this site. Okay, let me. Hi.
I know you can't see me, but
We need some intelligent people on this show. Can you sit down? Actually, we're all over the map today because we're talking about Egyptians, we're talking about Ford probes, we're talking all kinds of stuff. Not supposed to be educational. Let's see. The pig was wanted for insubordination. So you got the bore. A Utah cop dove and tackled a runaway pig in a viral video that has the internet snorting. Police in Grantville, Grantsville, about 30 miles southwest of Salt Lake City, received several complaints over the past week about 3 little pigs that were wreaking havoc in the neighborhood. I wonder how long it took them to write that.
I have no idea.
But, as you can see, that one was running all over the place. And I don't have the video because, for some reason, my videos aren't playing. But the cop, well, you go to cop school or training or whatever, and you're thinking you're going to take down some dangerous people, and you end up chasing the pigs, and then you also end up messing around with some politicians or some DAs and stuff. But I found that funny.
Well, Mike, that's going from one pig to another.
There you go. That's right. I'm just hamming it up, you know. Oh, I guess we could play this while we're here. This is the promo I did for this weekend's wrestling show. Let's see if we can get this.
Hi, this is classy Hollywood Mike Trash. Come to you from Hollywood. Where else? And finishing up my latest film, Watch and Listen. And I want to give you an update on APP. First off, I want to say that the men's Trash Talking Radio title is now vacated. The former champ got injured on a recent tour of Japan, so now we're looking for a worthy champion. I will personally evaluate all candidates myself at the Mother's Day show at 827 Jersey Avenue in Gloucester, New Jersey. Doors open at 5:30. Special bell time for the ladies. The special bell time is at 6. Special show for the moms. Each mom will receive a rose while supplies last and $5 off their ticket price. And a special hug from me, the classy one. Next order of business is something going on with my friend Amadeus. It seems he lost something at the last show. We'll have to follow up as things happen. Grayson Dixon has also been trying to communicate with me, but my manager is supposed to deal with it, so I'm not going to deal with it. If you like wrestling and you haven't seen this promotion, it's time you did. It's wrestling the way it's meant to be. I'll be flying out on my private jet, action-packed. Pro Wrestling has a special Mother's Day show, 827 Jersey Avenue, Gloucester City, New Jersey. Doors open at 5:30, bell time at 6. Come say hi, and maybe, just maybe, I'll scout you for my next movie.
There you go. I'll be doing some scouting. So that's my promo for the show. Yeah. I had to put something together, and I needed to do something quickly because I promised them I'd have a promo for them. But gonna just fuel up the jet and head out. And, I wanted to do something in the background, like I was going to put the Hollywood sign out there, but I was in a push for time, so I couldn't really accommodate with that. But anyway, let's see what's next. Okay, so we watched the hilarious video that wasn't there. Then we have... no, wait, where's the new stuff? Hold on here. Oh, I didn't go down far enough. I knew there was more stuff. Oh, this is the other thing I wanted to play. So, somebody was talking about why did you ever wonder why we haven't seen any proof of these UFOs we're talking about? I knew there was something else I wanted to say. There's another video that I was watching, and it was on why we don't ever have any proof of this. No, that's not what it was. That was it's on why you can't use your cell phone on an airplane. Do you ever wonder why you can't use a cell phone on the airplane?
No.
You did?
Why can't you?
Why?
Did you ever wonder? Okay. Well, this guy...
I've never been on an airplane, so I don't know.
Well, yeah, you've never been on one, but...
I've just always taken it for granted, Mike.
Okay, well, there's a lot of theories, but there's not a lot of proof. And this guy here was talking about why you can...
Okay, what's the deal with airplane mode? Because you're telling me that we put a man on the moon years ago.
Well, one small step for man, but I didn't get the second phrase.
But if I try and use twitter.com on my phone, somehow the plane might not be able to fly. I mean, I definitely put my phone on airplane mode because I look like this, and that means being on your best behavior when you get on a flight. But like, what happens if the person next to me has their phone off airplane mode? I just can't wrap my head around the fact that a little device like this could cause such a big problem with the plane. These are the kinds of thoughts that I have minutes before my flight takes off, and then just before I can Google it, well, the plane takes off and I have to put my phone on airplane mode. But enough is enough. I have decided to look into it, and what I found was a story that starts years before mobile phones.
And this kind of stuff is stuff that they all tell us is the truth, but there's no facts behind their truth, So this is...
Well, doesn't it mess, before we see the rest of the video, doesn't it have something to do with messing with the electronics?
Ah, that's what they tell us. Yes, that's what they tell us.
In this
But does it?
schematic transformer, the primary coil, which is a part of the transmitter circuit. And off she goes from the loading ramp to the jet runway. Beautiful shoreline unfolds.
Thank you to our patrons for supporting the channel, and Clean My Mac for sponsoring a portion of this video. The report was inconclusive, but now the possibility of electronic interference existed, so a notice was given out to air staff. In the same year, the brand new FAA, which is the Federal Aviation Administration, started to look into whether or not this interference was something. Apparently, these claims started to be made after some mid-sized plane crashes, including a famous one in 1956 with the Grand Canyon. So they did some research and found that some FM radios would cause interference with navigational systems. Now, none of this was ever cataclysmic. Some reports show that the system would basically put up a red flag saying that the navigational system might be inaccurate, which isn't really dangerous, but is never a good idea when relying on safety mechanisms. So in 1951, the FAA decided to ban FM radios. Now, it wasn't all FM radios that were causing the problem, but you couldn't really rely on everyone involved to know which ones were which, so a blanket ban was suitable here. A few years later, they would make this ban permanent alongside a list of approved electronic devices. These electronics were medical devices like pacemakers and hearing aids, alongside other things that were proven not to have interference, like tape recorders. They also started to test other types of transmitters and receivers, like portable TVs,
transistor television that plays anywhere without plugging in,
other types of communication devices, and other forms of radio.
It's practical too.
As early as 1964, there seems like a general consensus is being formed. Things that transmit or receive electromagnetic signals are more likely to cause interference than other types of technology. By the way, all types of electronics do emit some level of electromagnetic radiation. It's just that if they aren't deliberately emitting electromagnetic radiation, then it's usually pretty negligible. Hence why pacemakers and voice recorders are on the approved list, whereas FM radios and that type of stuff aren't. So that became the broad yardstick. Things that deliberately emit electromagnetic radiation are likely to be prohibited, whereas things that just incidentally emit electromagnetic radiation are probably fine. However, after this, the FAA basically decided we're not getting paid enough to keep an up-to-date list of what's approved and what's not approved, especially as new technology.
This is the interesting part to me, is that they just decided we're not getting paid enough to do this.
Comes onto the scene. So they wiped their hands of it. The FAA basically told the airlines it's up to you to determine whether or not your fleet can withstand electromagnetic interference and put in place policies according to your own tests. So there you go. If something transmits or receives a signal, then there's a small chance that there is a tiny bit of interference. But if it doesn't transmit anything, then it's probably fine. And that would have been the end of the story if technology stopped in 1960.
I like the probably, like nobody knows, but we're gonna put something out there that this is a problem, even if there isn't a problem, because we're not going to investigate it because we don't want to spend any money investigating it, is what they're telling us.
66. But then we invented the extremely dangerous electronic calculator.
Introducing the LC8, world's smallest electronic calculator by Sharp. Price tag to match.
But before we talk about calculators,
$345 for a calculator.
I'd like to tell you a little bit about our sponsor, Clean My Mac. Clean My Mac is a product that I genuinely use. I've used it for years before using.
They tricked me into this.
of the month on Product Hunt, so it's loved by a lot of people, including myself.
I don't love it.
That you can't quite see on system preferences.
I don't want to.
Around. I use the storage management features.
Oh, get over it.
Storage visualizer.
Hold on. Oh, that's what that is. Okay, now I figured it out. Okay.
Let's talk about calculators.
Introducing The Answer.
Power into the 80s with solar power.
What's your phone number, Walter?
5550700.
Master?
Quiet, I'm calculating.
In 1973, the FAA decided to put electronic calculators on the blanket approved list. And this makes sense given what we know about electromagnetic radiation. General bits of technology, like the calculator, don't have any possibility of causing electromagnetic interference. Right? Wrong. 2 years after this thing was put on the blanket approved list, the FAA decided to examine the evidence. And this is what they found. Tests showed the effect of portable electronic calculators on navigation equipment varies with different models in different aircrafts. However, they concluded that their own examination of the evidence was inconclusive and conflicting. So, what do we know about calculators on aircrafts? Very little. We know that some calculators maybe had some level of interference on some aircrafts, but the evidence was inconclusive and conflicting. But remember, the airlines can make their own rules. Some airlines did ban electronic calculators on planes and took a more conservative approach to all electronics, whereas other airlines said, this is fine. And it probably is fine. Like, there's nothing, it's a calculator. But this became a growing trend of conflicting and inconsistent rules amongst different airlines. And I feel like this history explains a lot of why we're confused about how important airplane mode is today. It's part of a long history of inconsistent airline policies across different airlines. And this is why all of this has been so confusing to learn about. There is such inconsistency throughout history of what different airlines were doing. For example, because of this inconsistency, electronics manufacturers started to lobby airlines in order to make their own technology approved for use on planes. I mean, one famous example of this is the Kindle. It was a new type of device and Amazon had a vested interest in having it on planes. So they did their own tests and promoted the fact that Kindles was safe for airplanes. But because the airlines could make their own rules, sometimes they had to be guided by public perception. For example, in 1993, there were reports that a plane started banking left after a passenger turned on a CD player. The FAA basically denies having any record of this, but it was in the popular zeitgeist, and as a result, a lot of airlines basically decided to ban electronics for a short period of time after. So in the 80s and 90s, technology begins to progress, people start using mobile phones and laptops, and there's a lot of inconsistency over whether or not you can use them on planes. So where's the FAA in all of this? Well, they're still making sure that things are safe, presumably, but they have given the airlines a lot of autonomy over making their own policies. And I suspect that's because the concern that the FAA has over electromagnetic interference is quite small. While there may be some inconclusive evidence that some electromagnetic interference could cause some problems with navigational systems, it's definitely not catastrophic. The FAA's stance on this is effectively only concerned with takeoff and landing. Takeoff and landing are the most dangerous part of any flight. The FAA here has exercised a lot more caution. Under 10,000 feet, the pilots have a lot less time to react to any problems that could occur, so reducing the amount of problems that could occur is important. Here, the policy around airplane mode is a lot more strict. You have to have airplane mode. Electromagnetic interference isn't going to cause any cataclysmic problem with the aircraft, but if there is a problem with the aircraft, it's important to have all of the systems as accurate as possible. So given that we're on a flying tube, it makes sense to be a lot more cautious. But outside of that, as far as the FAA is concerned, it's up to the airlines to do what they want. Listen to this. The idea that devices seemingly as harmless as laptop computers and FM radios might create chaos in aircraft systems has generated extensive and sometimes unsubstantiated coverage. Lost in the uproar is the fact that more than 30 years after the issue first arose, there is still no conclusive scientific data to either establish or repudiate the notion that an aircraft filled with personal electronic devices might veer wildly off course. So even after 30 years, there wasn't enough data to conclude on whether or not electromagnetic interference is actually going to cause any problems. Anecdotal evidence suggests that the chance of an electromagnetic disruption is greater than 1 in a million. But reporting biases may lead pilots to erroneously attribute incidents to electromagnetic interference that might actually result from pilot error or mechanical malfunction. And this is what I found. There was a case where a phone caused a plane crash. The pilot was on his phone. It was initially attributed to the altimeter being disrupted by the electromagnetic interference, but it was later found that the altimeter was mechanical, so electromagnetic interference couldn't have been the cause, and that the pilot was likely on his phone. So can phones cause plane crashes? Yeah, but not because of electromagnetic interference. If you're literally on your phone, maybe. The paper goes on to say that in any event, it is virtually impossible to recreate the conditions that allegedly caused electromagnetic interference. But the available data indicates that the chance of electromagnetic interference during a typical flight is statistically very small, especially if passengers comply with airline policy and devices are in proper working order. All of the incidents that blame electromagnetic interference are incidental or anecdotal. Boeing has this long list of like 75 different incidents, and none of them have a causation between electromagnetic interference and the incident in question. It seems like the FAA's concern is completely covered by their current policy of banning technology under 10,000 feet. The airlines don't want to take a bold new stance because they don't want to be responsible if an incident was to happen. So what can I say for certain? Not very much. I can say that your phone probably, given all of the evidence I have, isn't probably going to cause an incident on your flight. But I can't say that for certain because the data isn't there yet, and no one's interested in researching it. I might be totally wrong and I'm missing some sort of source, but I really don't think so. So if the FAA policy is to do with under 10,000 feet, why is it still airline policy across all the major airlines and the law in the US and, basically every other country I looked at? Well, it turns out that the FAA isn't the only federal organization interested in keeping the rule that way. The FCC also has an interest in airplane mode, and they don't care about airplane safety at all. They're the FCC, the Federal Communications something or other. Well, it turns out that even if we don't need airplane mode to protect people in the plane, we might need airplane mode to protect people on the ground. When a mobile phone has no signal, it emits radiation until it reaches a cell tower. If you're really far from a cell tower, like on a plane, the phone emits increasing levels of radiation to connect to a tower. Now imagine a plane full of 600 phones searching for a signal, all emitting maximum amounts of radiation. That's a lot of radio interference in the airwaves. And like we've established before, this is likely not a problem for the aircraft's navigational systems, but cell towers can only handle a certain amount of traffic. And in populated areas like cities where bandwidth might be near capacity, having 600 extra phones connect to a tower can completely overwhelm the capacity. Basically, this would mean that a plane could accidentally become a radio jammer and cause issues for civilians on the ground. Now imagine not only one plane doing that, but all the planes in the sky. It's actually a slightly bigger issue than it seems, because on the ground a cell phone might connect to 1 or 2 towers in the local area. In the sky, a cell phone has a bigger range than it seems, and while flying it can jam up a lot more bandwidth than it would ever on the ground. So while the jury's still out on airplane mode and airplane safety, I'm pretty confident that the reason that we still have airplane mode is that it helps protect the global cell phone network. Now, there are discussions in the EU and elsewhere about trying to activate 4G and 5G on airplanes, but that's using a technology called picocells. And interestingly, it's something that the US are just not interested in right now. For various technical reasons that I'm not really going to get into now, it seems like if we are going to get 4 and 5G on airplanes, it probably won't be in the US and it'll be in the EU and places like the Middle East. But if we're going to all this trouble for cell service, why can we still use Wi-Fi?
This is the interesting part to me for the Wi-Fi part, where they let you hook up to the Wi-Fi to the plane
on flights. The way Wi-Fi works is actually pretty simple. Your phone connects to a Wi-Fi router on the plane. It's the same type of router you would use in your home. That Wi-Fi connects to an antenna which is on the plane. The antenna is connecting to a cell phone tower on the ground or a satellite in the sky. Basically, airplane Wi-Fi is just a massive Wi-Fi hotspot. But the way it works is slightly different depending on if you are flying over land or sea. Over land, the plane can connect to the same cell phone network that your phone uses for 4G. However, over sea, the plane needs to connect to satellites that are sometimes less reliable. This distinction between land and sea can explain why free Wi-Fi is so prevalent in US domestic flights. It's much easier when 99% of flights are done over land, whereas in Europe and the rest of the world, you're flying over more oceans and seas, so it's harder to provide reliable Wi-Fi. And if you're wondering why the Wi-Fi doesn't cause the same interference as your cellular network, the Wi-Fi just doesn't go that far. I'm upstairs and don't get Wi-Fi, let alone 30,000 feet. The airplane's antennas are specifically designed to connect to the network while in flight, whereas your phone is just wildly trying to emit radiation in order to connect to any cell phone network, so it causes a lot more interference than the plane's antennas would. So do we really need airplane mode? Well, we don't have a lot of evidence to say that phones were ever dangerous on a flight, but we don't have enough research to say that they are 100% harmless. And given the fact that you are flying in a metal tube during takeoff and landing, I would say yes, you need airplane mode. Even if the electromagnetic interference is negligible, if there was an incident on the flight, I would want the pilots to have the most accurate tools available to them. But if you want...
So, I mean, the basic idea is, chances are everything that we know is wrong. Just, once again, I blame the Egyptians. I think it's the Egyptians that caused this whole thing. They probably had cell phones. That's probably why the pyramids were up so high. They had to put the cell phone towers way up there. That's two interesting... Yeah, so that's two interesting things that I found on YouTube that captivated me a little bit, because the whole idea of using the airplane mode annoys me, because I hate when I fly and they make it. I mean, you can't use your phone anyway, but yeah, it's a pain. It's their way to charge us money to use their Wi-Fi, because they're not really cheap. It's usually like $20 for a flight. So if you have a layover or you have to change airplanes, then you're paying $40, and just crazy stuff. So I found that interesting, and I thought that was worth talking about. So what else we got here? I did have some interesting statistics on the Palestinian thing, which may not... I mean, I hope it's... I have this site called 1440, and they talk about the news unbiased. It's a very good site. And it says here... Oh, we were talking... I guess 2 weeks ago we were talking about the students causing trouble, and it says here at least 2,000 people have been arrested from dozens of colleges over the pro-Palestinian protests. Crew begins cleaning up the University of California, Los Angeles campus, where at least 200 were arrested. You know, I was never really into the whole protest thing, because even when we were around colleges and stuff, I just don't see what you're gaining by putting yourself out there at a college and getting in trouble, being arrested and all that stuff. 2,000 people arrested over pro-Palestinian, and these students probably don't know what the whole thing is about. They're just joining in on this thing that they think is important, but they don't have all the facts, in my eyes. So
most of the students, what else they believe would get them killed by the terrorists.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think it's really odd that, you know, I hate when people get involved in things that they don't really understand or know. They just think it's a cause, so let's get involved, it's a cause. But they don't really totally understand what's going on. And they're destroying colleges over what? Over something that's happening overseas. It has nothing to do with them, or, you know, why be destructive over the thing? If you want to protest, I don't have a problem with people protesting as long as they have the facts and know what they're talking about. But when you're destructive and protesting over things, destroying things, I don't understand that. I never did understand that. And it happened when we were in...
Professional agitators.
Yeah.
Are the ones that are doing not coercing, but teaching and training the students how to commit crime.
Yeah. See, I don't mind peaceful protests. That's fine. I believe everyone has an opinion, and everybody can say whatever their opinion is. But when you get down to it, if you're going to be destructive, if you're going to destroy, if you're going to hurt someone over your opinion, then it becomes it's terrorism at its you know. You're no more better than the terrorists themselves, especially when you're not educated about what you're talking about. A lot of these people just want to be part of the crowd, and I see that. I see that a lot, and it's like they think it's cool to be able to say, "Oh, I'm pro this and anti that," but they don't really know what's going on. And these college students, at least when I was going to college, I don't think that they understood what they were protesting for or against. So now we're having problems where colleges are being defunded by billionaires because these people are taking it too far.
Right.
They're not doing anything that is proactive. They're doing something that's destructive. So I found that was in the 1440 thing. Rescue teams identified. Oh, so they found a fifth body in the destruction of the bridge.
Oh wow!
Yeah, they found another body that was someone that was.
There's 6 total missing.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
One left.
Right. So they found the fifth one. I mean, I feel bad for that because that person had no idea they were going to die that day. It just, you know, through no fault of themselves, they just destroyed by a ship and the people that were on that ship.
What are the odds that they actually find that last?
I can't believe they found it. I mean, I really thought that they would have not found it, but with the weather getting warmer and stuff, I mean, they may be able to find. I don't know how. I don't even know if they're looking anymore.
Right.
They may have found it because it floated to the top. I don't know. It's just weird to think about. Also, we got cicadas coming our way. Oh, yay, yay! Yeah, cicadas come out every 17 years. Is that what it is?
Yeah, but there's different cicadas that come out at different years.
Yeah. So, cicadas spotted in Arkansas as the brood, what is that, 11, 19, no, what's XIX?
That's
19?
19.
19? Continues to emerge, and then it says, see the latest map for the, I don't know where we are on that, but, man, I think we had cicadas I think it was just last year or something, 2 years ago. We had a big amount of cicadas. But yeah, it's crazy. Cicadas. Never thought I'd say the word cicada. Well, here I am saying cicada over and over again. We got, let's see here. Oh, Sony Pictures is, let's see, gotta get this thing going here. Oops, disable your ad blocker or else I won't be able to see this. Oh, well that sucks. You're going to really stop me from seeing this? Really? No, I'm not going to disable my ad blocker. I don't need to see that much. Sony Pictures, Apollo Global extend $26 billion all-cash offer to buy Paramount. Who would have thought that Sony Pictures would have been buying, those big actually, Amazon has bought one of the companies, one of the picture companies too. I want to say it was MGM that I saw. It's now Amazon MGM. Who would have ever thought that Amazon would have bought a picture company?
Right.
Yeah. It's kind of cool though, because it shows that the massive company MGM is in everything. So that was kind of wild. And in fact, I watched the show, it's a new Amazon, what was the TV show called? It was after a video game, and I can't remember what it was. Not Halo, but it's like that. It's I can't remember the name of it.
You said new
Amazon
Prime?
Prime,
Okay.
yeah. It was it's like Halo, but it's not Halo. It's I saw the whole thing too. It was okay. It was all right. It was decent. It was not exciting, overly exciting, but it was okay.
I'm looking.
I know, but I can't remember. I can't believe I can't remember. It was like, why can't I remember? Oh, I liked the movie, it's not a movie though. It's like, hold on. I'm going to see it. It's it just came out. I'm horrible at this. Oh, there it is. Fallout. There.
Fallout.
Yeah. That was a pretty good show. And it's funny because it's really a higher tech type, and I liked it. It was pretty good. It wasn't great. It was good.
Is that post-apocalypse?
Yes, and that's the thing that was interesting because you had these two types of people. You had the people that were living in the shelters that apparently were the rich people, and then you had the rest of the other people, and you had the people that were protectors. That was the people that had the suits that they could do all the things. It was just an interesting concept. It showed how the people that were underground were not aware of the way things really are. So, I don't know. It was cool, though. I got to take it. Talk about something. Anything.
Right now, I just started watching a show called Lego Masters. It's teams competing, building Legos. They get different objectives, and they have to build Legos. They build a whole bunch. Yeah. I'm on season 3 right now. So they have they just did a dog show one. They did a Jurassic Park one. That's on Hulu. I'm watching that on.
What else you watch?
I watch Law and Order: Organized Crimes we watch that with my boyfriend. So we're into that. Him and I are into that. So that's something we like to do together. We'll sit and watch that together.
I'm watching Halo.
Oh, okay.
Watching what?
Halo.
Halo. Okay, yeah. I want to watch that. I haven't seen that yet.
The Master Chief.
Yes. And originally Microsoft. I'll tell you something that you may like. There's a show. It's on Amazon, and it's called Upload. Now I've
watched 2 seasons of it.
I liked it. It was kind of an interesting concept. So Upload is about this. It's in the future. Once you die, they can capture your brain waves and create you on a hard drive. So you don't ever die. You will be alive for the rest of your of existence. And it's kind of cool because you can still interface with your family that died, even though you're dead. You still have full consciousness, and you're still aware of things and all that. But you now have to live in this world that's computer generated. Interesting. So you're kind of like a real life avatar, and you can. But the problem here's the drawback is that when you die is the age you will be for the rest of your life. So if you die at 10, you will always be 10. Even if you're 20 or 30, you're always going to be 10. So that's the one bad thing about it. But so you're stuck at that age, and they recreate your body and everything the way you were when you died. And that I like that idea, and I like the concept of being alive forever. But you're on a hard drive, so
right.
Once you're, and you can visit your family can visit you virtually, which is cool. But you will never leave the computer. You will never. But you have all these worlds you can explore. They have everything set up, but you're away from your family because they're still alive and you're not. So, and apparently.
Depending how much money.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, that's true too. Depending on the money is how good you live.
Interesting.
And how good you live. So your parents or your family have to pay every month for you, and if they don't, you start falling down to a lower rank. And I like the concept of it was kind of cool, because for someone that doesn't really want to die, that would be a solution for me.
And what's that called?
It's called Upload. And so I saw all 3 seasons of that. Another show that I like, you were saying what shows, if you ever watch, and this one's a kind of a weird show to like, it's called You. Y-O-U. It's called You. It's about this guy named Joe. He's a bookworm, and he loves books. Books are a great thing, but he's also a serial killer. And he keeps running away from it because he doesn't want to be a serial killer, but he ends up somehow, in every season, he ends up killing somebody, and usually he falls in love with these women, and he's obsessed by these women, and he'll do anything to be with them, and he actually protects them from other guys, whether or not they need protected, and he ends up falling in love with them and obsessed by them. And then the one season, he meets this girl. He falls madly in love with her, and he finds out that she's a serial killer. And they're like, they know that each other does that, and they try to stop from doing it. They're doing their best not to be a serial killer, and he ends up killing her too. So, but it's a really bizarre show. It has one more season. I think there's 5 seasons, and there's one more 6. Or else they had 4, and there's one more to 5. I don't remember which one it is, but that's a really bizarre movie or TV show that a girl I was dating had me start watching. And I kind of like, why she watch this? And then I understood. Then he built this elaborate thing to keep his girls in when they go out of control, or when it just was a really strange show. But and I also watch Clarkson's Farm. Jeremy Clarkson was one of the moderators, one of the hosts of Top Gear, which was a great show in the UK, and it became a great show in the US. They made a US version. I like the England version better than the US version. But him and his partners, his 2 partners, they did all this stuff with cars. Well, he retired from the cars thing, and he owns a farm, and he owns like 1,000 acres or something like that. And he decided he was going to be a farmer. He's the worst farmer in the world. That's only because I'm not in farming. But he's the worst farmer in the world. And he bought a tractor. He thought it was cool to buy a tractor. What kind of tractor did he buy? A Lamborghini tractor, because it's a Lamborghini. I didn't even know they made a tractor. But it's just funny. His 3rd season is this year. And it just started, and they had 4 episodes. Then they're going to release another 4 in a couple months. Then they're going to release another 4. I love that show. It's just so stupid because Jeremy is so stupid when it comes right down to it. Because he always equates everything to power. You got to have more horsepower. But this season he's raising pigs, and last season it was sheep, and he just keeps trying, and you get to feel the plight of the farmer, though, because through this, you get to realize, he talks about at the end of the season, he said, well, tell me where the breakdown is, and then he always loses money, and you have to see the plight of the farmer firsthand. And one of the things is, in this particular community that he lives in, the town is against him. They do everything possible. He set up a shop on his farm. They're trying to shut the shop down. They're trying to not let him sell anything at the shop that isn't locally produced. It's got to be within 15 miles of the shop that it's got to be made. All these stupid little rules, and I think about how it is in the U.S. that they have those stupid little rules too. But I really like the show, and that's also on Amazon Prime too, by the way. And the other thing I watched on Amazon Prime is The Boys, which they have the next season coming, which should be interesting. It's an anti-superhero movie. The superheroes are the bad guys. On the surface they look like they're the great guys. Then you find out once they turn the cameras off that they actually are not really very nice people. So actually the intro of the first season, this guy and this girl are walking down the street hand in hand, and they're just the happiest couple you could ever see. And they're getting ready to cross the road, and she steps down to cross the road, and he gets ready to step down, and then all of a sudden you see this like wind, and he's standing there holding her hand, and the rest of her body's gone.
Oh.
Their Flash, one of the superheroes, was drunk and just ran right through her. So he was on his first. That's how we're introduced to the show. He's on a vendetta against the heroes because they aren't all they're cracked up to be. I thought that was a cool show too, but it's very violent. But it's just I like the show. That's kind of a cool show. What else am I watch a lot of different things. Right now I'm watching The Office because I never watched The Office when it was on, and it's kind of funny.
I forgot The Office.
I kind of got it. It's a slow-moving, kind of weird comedy. Will Ferrell was on it the last season that I just finished, and it was kind of bad. It was, it's so bad it's funny. I mean, it's just, But usually it's on for noise in the background while I'm editing stuff and stuff like that. But it's kind of cool. I like all kind. I mean, I watch everything. I'm like a television-aholic. So, and you have so many options nowadays. You got so many streaming platforms and so many different things to watch. But yeah, lately I've been watching Amazon stuff just because it had Clarkson on it and had Fallout and all that. Where's Halo at? Oh, is it? Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. Is that Paramount? I can't remember.
I don't know. I remember seeing it. I remember seeing it somewhere, and I never watched it yet. But
you said Halo?
Yeah. I'm just wondering. I thought it might be Netflix or might be. I don't know. I do remember seeing ads for it though, and one of these days I'll watch that one too. The reason I watched Fallout
you can
is
do Paramount or Prime.
It is on Prime? Okay. Yeah.
It is on Prime.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of good stuff.
She's quicker than I am on the computer.
Oh, she's yeah. That's why I keep her around. But one of these days you should check out some Top Gear because Top Gear could be pretty funny. You got to watch it a couple times to get used to the guys, but they have some really cool specials, and they're driving across deserts and countries that you don't necessarily want to be in. And one of the specials they had, they actually were stuck because there was a coup being thrown in that country, and they had to get out of there because people were throwing rocks and things at them and stuff, and they got out of there with their life. But I'll tell you, that was kind of scary thinking that you could be in that situation. I think it was in Bolivia or something like that. But they've traveled all over the place with those things, and they have like little things that they are. They have a guy that supposedly sends them missions that they got to do, and if they don't do the missions, they're competing against each other a lot of the times, and it's just funny because one guy like Jeremy and Richard are like speed freaks, and then the third guy they call him Mr. Slow. So, but they don't like electric cars, so that kind of like made me have a bad taste for them. But it's still a good show. I like them. But it's saying. What's that?
For me, it's coming up that you have to buy each episode, or
Which
you can
one?
buy the season for Halo.
Mm.
But if you have Paramount Plus, it's on Paramount Plus.
Oh, well, I have ways to get things.
I have Paramount Plus.
I have ways to get things. I don't pay for things. I can get anything I want to watch.
I'm just saying.
Because I'm a star. They gift it to me because they want me to talk about it on their show, on my show. I wish that were true. That'd be cool if it was true. I guess.
Wanted to know, so I do the research.
Yes, you do. I appreciate your researching. All right. So now, what was this one about? This was about. No, it's okay. Oh, Peloton has got problems. Peloton, the company, the exercise company.
Wow.
Peloton yesterday announced CEO Barry McCarthy was stepping down. The company was laying off 15% of the staff, around 400 people. 200 board members will serve as the interim co-CEOs as the company, the fitness company, struggles to rebrand and works to refinance. Now, how much debt do you think they have? Peloton has. Do you know what Peloton is, right? It's like an exercise company that you pay monthly, and you get a video screen, and you're working out with everybody in your house.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it was a cool idea, and
Right.
they made a lot of money real quickly. But whatever happened, says here from 2020 to 2021, Peloton's market capitalization grew from $6 billion to $50 billion, driven by the lockdown. And now that the lockdown's gone, people are going outside again. They're now in debt. How much money do you think they're in debt? How much money?
$100 million.
Okay.
I would say 300 million.
300 million.
Mm-hmm.
They are in debt more than $1 billion.
Oh, wow.
After making $60 billion, they're in debt $1 billion. I mean, that's unheard of. How could you be how you get in debt by that much? Because you're being paid by the month by subscribers. How could you be that far?
There's people who are cutting their subscription.
Yeah, but you would only get paid for how many people are watching or how many people are participating. So I don't know. I can't imagine being that crazy. It says here, it says capitalization.
Also Bill White.
Oh yeah, that's true. I just can't imagine. It says capitalization grew from $6 billion to $50 billion, driven by the lockdown. And then it says here, let's see, the end of the lockdown has seen dive in demand, and safety concerns forced Peloton to recall more than 2 million devices. Whew. It's just crazy to think about how quickly they made money and how quickly they lost money. So that it's a lot of money.
Well, it would make sense what you said during COVID.
Yeah.
People were buying them right and left.
Yeah. But that's crazy. Let's see what our next thing is here. What was that? I forget what that was about. Adult baby was. I forget what this article was. Hold on. Oh, I put notes up here, and okay. Airline keeps mistaking 101-year-old woman for a baby. 101-year-old woman keeps getting mistaken for a baby because of an error in the airline's booking system. The problem occurred because American Airlines systems apparently cannot compute that Patricia, who does not want to share her surname, was born in 1922 rather than 2022, or in the case of this. And it says, so basically when they don't use the first two numbers of her year, so she looks like she's only 1 year old or 2 years old. So So it's funny that they thought I was a little child and that I'm an old lady. But the Centurion says she would like the glitch to be fixed. So it's because it's caused her so many problems in the past. For example, on one occasion, airport staff did not transport ready for her inside the terminal, so because they were expecting a baby who could be carried. So they didn't have her wheelchair. Oh man, that's just crazy to think that we would even have that kind of issue. But in today's world, you gotta have 1922 and 2022 or whatever it is. It's got to be all 4 digits.
Yeah.
And
there's a lot of places that usually use all 4 digits.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
very rare that you don't.
Well, I mean, the whole idea of the millennial or the millennium was that we were afraid that if we didn't upgrade all our computers, they were going to turn over, and that would have stopped this if they apparently didn't upgrade their computers.
Apparently.
So it's just funny. Patricia was flying with her daughter Chris. My daughter made the reservations online for the ticket, and the computer at the airport thought my birth date was 2022, not 1922. The same thing happened last year when they were expecting a child and not me. She was booked as an adult ticket. But it appears that the airport computer system is unable to process a birth date so far in the past. So it defaulted to 100 years later instead. So, that kind of thing should never have happened because they all should have had upgraded computers and software and stuff. Nobody expected
And that's
people.
not her fault. It's the
No, it's just funny. I guess it's not funny to her, but it's kind of funny that that was an issue. But I don't know. Too many. Well, I mean, there aren't a ton of 100-year-old people, but if you notice, there's a lot more people that are dying in their late 90s or early 100s. I mean, Betty White was 99.
Right.
And, we're seeing a whole lot more people dying, or we're even having senators that are in their 90s, which is crazy. But that's what's going on now. We have people living longer, and I can't imagine being 101 or 102 years old. I thought you were going to be like a baby.
A baby. Coming with your parent.
Yeah. Wah. Just crazy stuff. So.
But you would think if they were booking a ticket by themselves, why is a 1-year-old booking a ticket by themselves?
Well, the thing is, she was with her daughter.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
So that's, I found that funny.
So then they thought the daughter was bringing their child.
Yes. And then I see something here that says dumb phones are making a comeback. I don't think cell phone companies want dumb phones to be out there. You look at I'm thinking probably flip phones and stuff. It says breaking up the monotony, breaking up the smartphone is hard to do, but a growing dumb phone market is giving off alternatives. Like I don't even know if you can buy a non-smartphone from like Verizon or whatever. The new picture as well, the well-known negative effects of screens, loneliness, addiction, and anxiety or depression has left many eager to disconnect. A dumb phone is basic, 90s-inspired cell phone without any vortex of apps. Sometimes I wish I had one of those just so that I didn't have to look at TikTok or something. So, yeah. So it seems like people are wanting to buy those little simple phones. I don't know. I don't really see a whole lot of people. Yeah, me too. I think that we all rely on our phones too much. Yeah. Imagine what we were thinking in 81. We weren't even I never had a cell phone till like 2006 or 2005. I didn't see a need for it. Now I don't know what I'd do without it.
Right?
Well, I can't even drive my car without it because You have to have the cell phone connected. Well, okay, you got the little credit cards instead of keys too, but yeah, that's crazy. Just a lot of people want to be back at the not cell phone thing. So, I mean, there's something to be said for that. A lot of us spend too much time on our phones.
I know somebody who says that to me all the time.
Uh-huh. Well, he's probably smart. And I did say he.
That's correct.
Yeah, but could you imagine live without one now? I mean, I can't even... I really can't imagine what it would be like to not...
Told me to lay down.
Yeah, lay down.
I'm trying to get her to lay down, but she won't listen.
Well...
How do you lay down?
Oh, yeah, right. Right. Now, if she said it, you'd be down on the floor in a second. So she's there today, huh?
Yeah, she came in last Tuesday.
Well, that's cool. When you coming to PA next?
I have a dog sitting problem. I don't know when. It's whenever my dog sitter gets free again, then I'm coming to PA.
Who's your dog sitter?
She's a friend of ours.
Oh, okay.
She's got 3 older cats that can't be left alone.
I get that. Yeah. I know. We're chained to our pets.
There we are.
I wouldn't have it any other way, though. There's no way you could get more love than you can from your pet.
Oh, what do you know?
What do we know? What do we know? I don't know. Tell me.
I'll tell you here in 2 seconds.
2 seconds? Time's up.
June 8th just got accepted for me being off.
Oh, cool. That's good. That's good. That means you'll get to see the band.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be good. Oh, yeah. Well, that's something we haven't done yet. I'm going to get in trouble for all the videos I played anyway, so I might as well go for the gambit here. You want to hear a song that my band was?
Yeah.
All right, let me see here. I'm actually very happy with this band. I'm the weakest link, so that means everything to me. I like that versus being the strongest link. It was getting frustrating in the other situation. So we're going to play the first time that Stoneface has been played. Actually, I still have it under Vinylize. Let's see, where is it? This one? This is it. Yeah. All right, I'm going to give you... Let's see. I got Jailbreak here. I got some ZZ Top, old ZZ Top. Got Riding the Storm Out. Aerosmith. Got Led Zeppelin Rock and Roll. Got American Band, Breaking the Law. Whole Lot of Rosie. Full for the City, which is the newest one we started doing. That one in I Just Want to Make Love to You. All Right Now. Those are some of the songs. Any particular one you would like? Born to Be Wild. Can't Get Enough of Your Love. Sin City. Rocky Mountain Way. Toughly. Sounds good, huh? mix isn't all that great, but you know.
You were right, Mike.
What's that?
You were right, Mike. It's pretty good.
Yeah, these guys are really excellent musicians, and you really can't hear because of the mix not being what it should have been. You can't hear like the first. You couldn't hear the leads in the first break, but we don't have anybody mixing this or anything, and that was it. My recorder's in another room all by itself, so I can't change any mix, whatever. And whatever I hear is not necessarily being recorded either, because we each have our own in-ears thing, so we can mix our own setting, and that's really neat because I can concentrate on just the vocals, and they can concentrate on their leads and stuff. And the drums aren't mic'd, are not even mic'd. That's that's straight out the sound of it. So it's really loud. The drums are really loud, and we even put a barricade up, and it's still loud. And the bass player's really good. He just can play everything. He plays in a country band too, and he just can play everything. He's really good. But I got two guitarists, and they're both really, really good. And it's really cool when they play, like in the Aerosmith stuff, they're trading leads off, and it's kind of cool because I've never been in a band with two guitarists. So it's a new experience for me. And little by little, I'm learning a lot of the songs that I've never done, which is the majority of these songs I've never done. I've actually done this song before, but like the other stuff, we're doing like Jesus Just Left Chicago, and we're doing, what's the other one that they did two of them back to back. It was on their one album. Just Got Paid.
Just Got Paid. Yeah,
and let's see, what's the third one? We're doing three of them in a row with ZZ Top, so it's kind of fun. They're a lot different than the other bands I've played in. They're a lot of fun. It's good to play and feel like you actually sound decent.
Right. And
these guys are really good. They're making me happy. So I feel like maybe I actually found a home for myself, because it's hard to find that group of people that you can exist with and not try to kill them or have them kill you. Because like Aerosmith, if you take a look at that band's had lots of problems with band members hating each other, and yet when they left each other, they couldn't seem to get it together. But when they came back together, they were good together. I'm hoping that this is not going to be like that. I'm hoping that we'll play together for a while and not ever have to worry about it. But it's fun playing with guys that know how to play their instruments. Right. It's a different concept. But yeah, I'm happy with these guys, and it'll be fun to see where it goes. But June 8th will be our first date, and we're gonna make a splash, I think.
Good.
So it's weird because it's a memorial for a guy who died, so it's going to be a different situation. We're just going to play it by ear, see what, I don't know if they're going to have people talk about this guy or what they're going to do with it, but they wanted us to play, and we're going to get paid to play, so that's all that matters. As long as they like it. That matters too. Won't be good if they don't like it. But anyway, well, I guess we're about done. Unless you guys want to continue, we're about done. I want to find that one. I got to see if I can find that one article that the things about the things that aren't in the Bible that people think are in the Bible and stuff like that. And we can talk about that next week. I think that would that'd be a good article.
Yeah.
So if I find, I think I know where it's at. So I got to find that. It was a Microsoft News article, I think. But I think that would be a good one to talk about. And I'm really curious what you think of that video from today, the one of the.
I got it on my other computer. I'll watch tomorrow.
Yeah, I think I'm curious what all you think about that, because I thought it was really fascinating. And any last thoughts? No.
It was a good night, Mike. It was a good night.
Yeah, we didn't have any issues. That's scary. Yeah, we heard everything. We could, It's good. I'd like to see this happen again, like on a regular basis, maybe. So, yeah, there's some.
Just boot the system every week.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do because that seems to be our best bet. I'm going to save this setting the way that it is, and then I'm going to power everything down. So, I think that's the best way to do it. And anyway, all right. Well, then, if that's it, if you guys are done, we can wrap it up. See here. Where's that?